I remember there was a time when we was kings and queens, prophets and rulers, judging the earth. But now we stuck at the bottom of the totem pole. Where did we go wrong as a people? I think our people need to understand this with a wake-up call and give them understanding on what's going on. So bring it.
Early morning, rise up, open your eyes up, looking in the mirror, it gets no clearer. Cause we don't understand our own selves, drowning in sorrow with empty Hennessy bottles upon the shelf. Cause everybody wanna be a king, selling out their soul for this mean green cream thing. Paper chasing, but not facing the facts that as a nation, we all done got lax and letting the devil control us. And thinking like them damn Africans, they sold us. We in captivity because they hold us. Work is hard with heavy burdens on our shoulders. Man, I thought we were some soldiers.
Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
Welcome to Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. For those of y'all online, we're here at 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard, Houston, Texas, 77071. We have classes Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 10 p.m., Friday from 6 to 9 p.m., and then Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you have any questions or comments during the course of today's class, you can hit me up at 832-941-2443. Please text only. Or you can call or text in between classes, Priest Kazakia, at 281-707-2737. We're also in San Antonio. If you're out there in San Antonio or out that way, if that's closer to you, you can go to 4219 Centergate Street. That's in San Antonio, Texas, 78217. And we're in New Mexico, in Albuquerque. You can go to 501 Copper Avenue Northwest, and that's Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87102. And we have classes out there. If you have any donations you want to give, canned goods, clothes, anything that you think will help the homeless, you can send that to any of the school addresses. If you have any school supplies, books, pens, pads, papers, anything like that, anything that you think will help in the educational process of your people, you can send those to any of the school addresses. And that'll, school supplies, office supplies, anything like that, that'll help. And kitchen supplies. If you can supply us with kitchen supplies, that way we can kind of help get these things off the ground with community feedings and things like that. But yeah, you can send that to any of the school addresses, and we'll appreciate that. If it's a monetary donation you want to give, you got something on your heart, an amount you want to give, then go ahead and send that to your local Wells Fargo under account number 101-580-6167. And that's under Israelite School of Biblical History. So at your Wells Fargo, you can go to account number 101-580-6167, and we'll gladly accept your donation. All right, and we appreciate those that have given so far. All right, y'all been doing a great work, and it's been a lot of help, keeping the school open, as you see, and things like that. So we're trying to also, trying to make sure that we can get brothers down to Trinidad and Tobago, because we got a lot of brothers and sisters down there that want to do this work. And they want to be taught and trained in how to do this work. So we're trying to send brothers down there to be able to start up something in Trinidad and Tobago. All right. So if you got that, on your heart, please give. Anything else? Oh, if you want to have your own garments made, custom-made headbands, garments, girdles, and armbands, you can hit up Israel Wear. That's Israel WEAR on Facebook. And place your orders there for your custom-made garments, and they'll work you out something with a beautiful price tag attached to it, not too high, something that'll fit in your budget and things like that, so that you can have your own garment made. Even if it's you want a very elaborate Passover garment, you could get all that done on there. We need a commercial for that. Our class. If we'll go into the and we'll probably be going over forgiveness. Well, let's say it like this. We'll go into how did I learn to hate my brother? We'll go into that. We'll do it like that. All right. But let's see if we got any questions. Y'all got any questions in class on any topic? Let's go.
I know this is answered. This was asked before, but I didn't get it. But if Satan works for the Most High, why is hell for Satan?
You said if Satan works for the Most High, then why is hell for Satan? Does it say hell's for Satan, or does it say?
It says for the devil and his angels.
Okay, so who's the devil according to the Bible?
Yes, and that was the second part of my question. Because I wrote it out. And I said if the devil, Satan, works for the Most High, why is hell meant for him and his angels, or is that for the white man and his angels?
Now here's the thing: when you're dealing with Satan, is the same thing you see with his counterpart on earth. Whether you want the devil, Satan, Lucifer, however you want to do it, the same problem is with his counterpart on earth as is going to be with him. He had a job to do, and he overstepped. You understand?
Okay.
And how did he do it? You see it in the people that work for him. Just like we read in Ecclesiastes chapter 10, right? As the judge of the people is, so are his officers, right? So, okay, we're looking at his officers on earth, the so-called white man, right? They had a job to put us in slavery. They had a job to execute the punishment that the Most High had on us, right? They did not have the job of grabbing women, cutting open their bellies, and stomping on their babies. They didn't have the job of raping black men, raping women. You understand? They didn't have the job of, none of that's in the job description, of making laws and treating us like we were free and then making money off us and things like that. They didn't have that job. They overstepped. You understand? They don't have the job of videotaping themselves on camera, shooting us, and then holding themselves not guilty. That wasn't their job. You understand? Their job was to do just like the Egyptians did, the Greeks, the Romans, the Assyrians, the Babylonians, and everybody else before them that didn't overstep. You understand? But, I'm sorry, not the Greeks, because Esau's in that Greek empire. The Greeks, the Romans, and America are the empires that overstepped. You understand? When the Babylonians put us in captivity, they took us en masse, they brought us into their land or whatever, and they let us have still keep our laws. Right? They still let us be who we were. We were just under tribute. We had to pay them. You understand? When the Assyrians did it, they took us out of our land, but they still let us be who we were. The Persians and Medes took us out of our land, but they let us still be who we were. And then they even returned us, right? So all these things happen. But none of those empires overstepped the punishment that the Most High had sent them to do for us. You understand? But the Edomite Empire is the one that wanted to make us homosexuals. They're the ones that turned us against the Most High. They're the ones that started playing with the mind control. You understand? Started messing with the minds of the people and taking the elders and putting them up and saying, listen, do what they do. Right? So when we go to Maccabees, right, that kind of stuff started with the Greeks. All right? The Nebuchadnezzar tried to do it in the time of Daniel in the Babylonian Empire, and the Most High struck him down himself. So that was a sign to those nations: don't overstep. Don't try to put no mind control and things like that on them. The white man didn't get that. You understand? The white man just went ahead and just did whatever the hell came into their nasty little brains, including all the wickedness of the Persians and Greeks and the Persians and Medes and the Assyrians and the Babylonians. They overshot them by a mile. You understand? Mm-hmm. So that's why when you get into Hebrews, right? Is it 11 or 7? I think it is. Let's see. Where is that about? 12:16. Sorry. 12. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16.
Good. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau.
As who?
As Esau.
What was Esau?
Lest there be any fornicator or profane person.
Right. Nowadays you call him a mother, right? He'd be a fornicator. Alright? It's still the F word to this day. Alright? He was a fornicator. Alright? Under consent of the king, right? He was a fornicator and profane. Now look up the word profane real quick. Let's look up the word profane. Let me know when y'all got it. Read that scripture again and let them get that.
Lest there be any fornicator or profane person.
Right. So lest there be any fornicator or profane person. Go ahead.
As Esau.
As Esau. Go ahead.
Who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
Now y'all got to know this. When the Bible said that Nimrod was a mighty hunter before the Lord, it didn't mean he was good at hunting. It meant the nigga was an expert. You understand? It meant he was like one of the mightiest people alive. It meant that his thought process was toward hunting extended to everything he did. You understand? So you wasn't getting away from his empire. You was not being able to move out and do these things. No, he had you in walled cities. You understand? He was intelligent. He was a trapper. You understand? So when the Bible points out a specific person, right, and says how great they were or something, it was because they exceeded everybody else. You understand? So when it tells you about a fornicator, right, and then it goes into Esau being a fornicator, right? If it by name says this fornicator, we talking about a fornicator that exceeded all other fornicators on the earth. You understand? All right. So when he points out specifically, lest there be any profane person or fornicator like Esau, that means there is nobody more profane and fornicator-ish than him. All right? But read it again, and then who got that definition?
I got it.
All right, read that scripture again.
Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
See that? So it's showing you that he sold his whole birthright for a morsel of meat. That's pretty messed up. All right? But now we got to look at, well, damn, that was messed up, but what made him a fornicator and profane? Well, now you got to go into his history. You understand? And then see how disgusting being this person is. That this man is the cage and the master of every type of uncleanliness on the planet. You understand? So why is the Bible pointing him out as being a fornicator, being profane? What's profane mean, real quick?
Profane. To treat something sacred with abuse.
To treat something sacred, which is us, we were the sacred ones to the Most High, right? To treat them with what?
Abuse.
To treat something sacred with abuse. What else makes a person profane?
Irreverence or contempt.
They're irreverent. They have no respect. They have no fear or respect. They sit there and say, yeah, there's obviously no way I could have made this tree and this universe, this planet, these birds and everything like that. But I'm not going to go with what these black people are saying about God. It has to have something to do with me. You understand? That's what they do. They make themselves up as if they're God. Right? So this is what makes them profane, because they're so irreverent. They're like, you know what? It's obvious something greater than me designed this, but I don't want people to look at anybody but me. So what will I say? I'll say that just happened. That was natural selection. that was the Big Bang, evolution, all these other things, and I'll say it right out there that it's a theory, and these niggas probably won't even look up what the word theory means. They'll just go with it. Y'all see that? This is what makes them profane, their amount of irreverence. Go ahead.
Or contempt.
Or contempt. They look at the things that obviously the Most High told them not to do, and what do? I'm doing that. That's the first thing I'm doing when I wake up in the morning. They got a Bible next to their bed as a checklist of stuff to do. They go down the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not kill. I need to kill somebody today. I need to just outright murder somebody. Y'all see that? They roll over, look at the thou shalt not commit adultery. My neighbor's wife is looking real good right now. Matter of fact, I'm going to send my wife off to sleep with some other dude while I go sleep with my neighbor's wife. You understand? They're the masters of this, since the Greeks, since the Romans. Do you understand? They surpass all other nations in doing this. And they're known for it, but nobody wants to hold them accountable. Now you tell me, what do they say the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was?
That he don't exist.
To convince the world he didn't exist. Right? That's the greatest trick. That coincides with the greatest trick the white man pulled. To convince the world that he's the good guy. Y'all see that? He go over the entire planet, right? If he see anything green, he turn it brown. If he see anything living, he kills it, right? It's the last thing on earth ever in existence. He goes and double checks the facts to make sure it's the last thing, and he smashes it like a bug. You understand? He hunts it into extinction, and he's like a virus everywhere he goes, right? Now, he shares the exact same characteristics. He's low down, he's dirty, he's ruthless as the devil. You understand? Now, I'm not just saying this. This is one of their own. All right? He wrote this. All right? And this is not an anti-white people class or nothing like that. This is just to show you why is that? Why is hell prepared for the devil and his angels? Who is he talking about? He's talking about the devil, the Satan, the actual spirit demon, right? Who has overstepped his bounds. And how do we know that? Because we can see it in his counterpart here on earth. You understand? Everything in heaven is happening here, right? That's why we pray that in earth as it is in heaven, right? Right. So we're praying it in righteousness sake. We want the righteous things that go on in heaven to be able to go down here. We want the righteousness to be able to overcome the wickedness. You understand? But know this, there are demons that come down to the earth from the heavens. You understand? They have a job to do. If there's a homosexual, there's a demon that came down from heaven and decided he was going to jump into the body of some person that was open to being a homosexual. You understand? How do you know they got a spirit on them? Because tell them to stop. What they going to do?
That's just how.
No, I'm going to make it a law that you can be this. I'm going to make it, if you tell me to stop, it's a hate crime. What? Like, who does that? If I tell a little kid don't go play at the light socket, he's not going to go to Congress and tell them to make it legal for me to let him stick his finger in the light socket. But if I tell the homosexual don't let somebody rip out your bumper meat with their penis, he's going to go try to find a way around that. But dude, I did that for your sake. So you don't have to suffer things like anal seepage. So you don't have to suffer things like sepsis. That was for you. Well, no, I want a law that allows me to get anal seepage and sepsis. How much more profane can you get? You understand?
Kind of.
Well, there's a spirit on somebody to do that. That's not human. You understand? That's not even animal. You got to have a spirit that comes down and infests you. You understand? Not just possesses you, it infests you. Like you have 1,000,000 demons in you. Like little cockroaches. They're just every part of your being. You see that? And that spirit got to be so low down and dirty and anti the ways of the Most High for you to enter, and that for you to be a person that even welcome that in, because you got to welcome it in. You understand? You got to be open to it. For you to be a person that even welcomes that, or even worse, like they do, worships it, praises it, make sure you feed it, make sure you try to spread it to other nations and nationalities. You got to be out your damn mind, man. You have to be the devil the Bible speaks of. Y'all see that? Now you read all your scriptures about demon possession, and then you look at the white man, and they do exactly the same things. It's just their history. You understand? If I look at a demon, if I look at demonic possession, they go to the first thing that gives them an open doorway, right? And they completely take it over. The demon sees a person that's bi-curious, jumps in them right away. Now they're straight on flaming faggots wearing a thong and a rainbow headband, doing backflips on every little penis that they can find down the Gay Day Parade Boulevard. Right? Because all they had was a thought. And what did Satan do? He came in and just took over. White man comes to America. Native Americans are like, hey, yeah, come on in. What they do? Completely took it over. Now, if the characteristics are the same, what is one of their favorite sayings? If it looks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, well, shoot, what is it, man? I mean, what else can I call it? You understand? Okay, so if I read through their history, right? Let me go to page 37 in this book, The 13th Tribe by Arthur Koestler. All right, now these are the people that are infesting our land right now, who happen to be the so-called white men. They're a tribe of Esau. All right, we know them as the Amalekites. Some brothers are erroneously calling them Ashkenaz, which is untrue. All right, but let's go there. Let's see. Here we go. Page 37. This is starting at the bottom of page 36. It says Ibn Fadlan, the fastidious Arab, liked neither the climate nor the people of the Khwarizm, which is basically the Khazar people. All right, Khazar people are where you get the fake Jews from. They call themselves Khazars. We know them as the Amalekites. They also claim to be a lot of other people. This is what he says. They are, in respect of their language and constitution, the most repulsive of men. Okay, that's an Arab telling you this, right? Let's find another page. Let's see. Page 91 says, and this is, I believe, the same guy. Let's see. No, this is a whole, here we go. The same guy, Ibn Fadlan. IBN and then Fadlan. Alright, he's an Arab chronicler. He runs into the Khazars. He says they are the filthiest creatures of the Lord. In the morning, a servant girl brings a basin full of water to the master of the household. He rinses his face and hair in it, spits and blows his nose into the basin, which the girl then hands on to the next person, who does likewise. Until all who are in the house have used that basin to blow their noses, spit, and wash their face and hair in it. Who does that? Dogs do that. You understand? The animals, even some animals are more clean than that. You understand? But this is a spirit. You understand? That this is a spirit on a person. Where does that spirit come from? It inhabits somebody that opens themselves up to it by doing what? By selling their birthright. They sold out what the Most High's blessing were for a morsel of meat. He said, you know what? I don't need the Most High. That's what made it profane. See, we look at it like, well, he just didn't understand the value. Yes, he did. Full on. He was Isaac's favorite son, bro. He was the firstborn. That means he got all the info from father. He got all the info from grandpa, who was still alive. He got all the info from great-grandpa, who was still alive, and great-great-grandpa, who was still alive. But that blessing was valuable. You understand? Matter of fact, I think it was, I think Eber he didn't die until about 4 years before Abraham was born. So he had all the knowledge of ancient Mesopotamia on his side. So he knew what the hell that birthright was. He said, you know what, I don't need that birthright, man. I don't need the Most High to walk with me. That's what he did in his action. Well, who else did that? Who else says, I don't need the Most High, I got my own power?
White people.
See? We know white people did it, right? That's what we're covering.
That's what we're talking about.
Right. But who else did that? Satan. Right? He got Christ, the Son of the Most High. Took him up on the mountain and said, listen, I'll give all this to you. All you got to do is bow down to me. Now you know the damn rules. You've been in the presence of the Most High. And you're going to tell me to bow down to you when you and I both know in Job chapter 1, you was bowing down to the Most High. Why the hell would you tell me to bow down to you? Because your mind state is completely off from what the Most High's commands were. Your mind state is, I don't need him in his rules. You understand? You've completely left off. So, we got the demonic counterpart, the spirit, Satan, Lucifer, however you want to call it, right? And then you got his counterpart on earth. You see that? Which is a people. Which even at one time Christ called Peter that, right? So he can have a counterpart on the planet. That's proof, right? When he told Peter, get behind me, Satan. Why did he say that? Because you have the spirit of Satan on you right now. You're a human being that's acting like Satan. You savor in the things of men and not of the Most High. You see that? Okay, well, what people on the earth currently walk around with that spirit on them? They walk around after their own desires, after their own lusts. They take over whatever they want, whatever they see. Y'all see that? So when it says that hell is prepared for the devil and his angels, it's prepared for that spirit demon who overstepped his bounds. He wasn't supposed to come down and be able to have the power to do what he did to Christ. You understand? He wasn't supposed to be able to do what he was able to do to Israel through his counterparts on earth. You understand? But he did it. You see that? He did it. Why? I'm spitting in the face. I'm overstepping my boundaries. I'm overstepping my authority. See, if you want to know what happened all up there, people always do that. They always want to know, oh, what happened between God and Satan, that Satan's his enemy. Well, all up until Job, you reading they on the same side. He works for him. But then when you look at his counterpart, how he operated on the earth, how he overstepped, now you're seeing what happened between him and the Most High. That played out down here. That didn't play out in some big giant war in heaven, the prophecy movies, series, and all that. You understand? I don't know if y'all seen that, but they try to make it like he started some stuff up there. You understand? Like he just went nuts, started killing angels and doing all that. No, he did it here. He did it through his people down here. That's how he overstepped. It became more than just I'm punishing the children of the Most High who won't get right. Into now I'm joining and destroying everything the Most High is building. You see that? His job was not for him to come down here and every time something good is being done by the saints of the Most High, he come in and screw it up. He come down and mess it up. No, his job is to test, right? So, hey, listen, I'm taking this away. I'm messing this up so that way you find a way around it. But no, once something's established, once a man has established that he's got the doctrine of the Most High in his brain and he wants to follow the Most High, here comes the wicked one. What we read in Matthew 13, right? Here comes the wicked one and he snatches away that what was sown in his heart.
Right.
That's overstepping, bro. You're not supposed to be doing that. You're not supposed to be snatching away what the Most High has joined. You see that? So everything you're seeing play out so far as this so-called war in heaven, that's here. You understand? All that stuff that you see, that the Satan going to war with the Most High, that's happening here. He's doing it right now. He's overstepping every day and spitting in the face of the Most High's ways and saying, you know what? I'm going to do things my way. Y'all see that? So yeah, hell is prepared for the devil, Satan, and his angels, his counterpart. Alright? And it's going to be some stuff. Now you got to think, if his counterpart is into like paying women to wear high heels and step clean through his testicles, this is stuff Esau likes to do, man. They like to chain themselves up and with hooks and swing for sexual pleasure. You understand? So you're sitting there watching Hellraiser, right? Watching a guy get hooks put all through his body, and you're like, ooh. And Esau's like, ooh. Let's go. You understand? So if hell is going to torture them, hell's got to be something you got to fear, man. Because the stuff we're cringe at, they pay for. So hell's got to be something just way more insane than what we could ever imagine. You understand? But you think about it. Think about the demonic type of spirit you got to have on you. That when a demon would jump in somebody, what would they do? Tear themselves, right? Start screaming, run around in graveyards, and do all kinds of madness. That's what you read in the scriptures. But look what Esau does as recreation. They cut themselves, tear out chunks of their flesh, tattoo, pierce, punch holes in, and you know what I mean? What's the hell? Who invents a Prince Albert? Y'all know what a Prince Albert is, right? You gotta travel more. You gotta research more, man. Prince Albert is where they take a gauge like they will put in your ear, all right, and they jam it through the stem of your penis, man. Oh Lord! And then they screw little barbs on the things on each side, so your penis is pierced right through.
Wait, like sideways?
Right through the shaft. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Some guys got it both ways. What are you gonna do with it? Oh, man. That's their pleasure. That's what they get off on. You understand? You think of the sick stuff that goes on in the world. You could go to any web page and bump into this stuff by accident, man. You understand? You can start typing in Prince, trying to look up somebody's history, and pop up Prince Albert. It'll be a how-to video on it or something. And you shaking your head right now, right? They're doing this. They're like, yeah. Some Edomite probably heard me talk about it right now. He might not even knew about it. And he going right down to the tattoo shop right now to go get hooked up. If he's not doing it himself. What's that?
I'm just listening to what you said. That made me think about what he said in Obadiah when he said, should thou rejoice over the destruction of the children of Israel?
Right. And he's talking to Esau.
Obadiah, right. He was talking about the man there.
You shouldn't have rejoiced in that.
That's right.
And see, that's the thing is Satan takes pleasure in these things, and his counterpart on this earth takes pleasure in these things. Let me guess, you looking at a picture right now?
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta, like I said, you gotta look at who thinks of things like this. You understand? Look at the torture devices that were made. If you look up the torture devices that were made by the Crusaders and the people of the Inquisition. You understand? Who makes up something called an Iron Maiden? It's a coffin with a bunch of spikes pointing inside, and they push you in there, and then they shut it on you. And your head to toe spiked through, and they watch the blood gush out. And in some circles, they drink that. If you research ancient Rome, man, some of the sacrifices to their gods was a woman would be in a lower chamber, and they would either swing a bull over her on a crane, or they would for the upper elite, this would be their sacrifice to their God. They would walk the bull over her, right? And she'd be in the lower chamber, kind of like you standing in a sewer looking up at the grate, right? And they take the bull and they eviscerate it right over that hole, and all his bowels and everything will wash all over this woman. And she's sitting there butt naked just loving it, bathing in it. That's not human. That's not animal. You understand? You don't see lions eviscerate an animal and then they jump inside the carcass and try to wear it and walk around. You know what I mean? Would you screw me? I'd screw me. Y'all ain't sing Silence of the Lambs, huh? Well, who does that? Right? This is their mind. Now, this is Satan's problem. Now you know the mind and understand the mind of Satan. It doesn't have to be super mystical. You don't have to go into no esoteric books and do all these things and play with a Ouija board and go into the fourth dimension to find out what happened. Look around you. You understand? Because they telling you right to your face, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was to convince the world he didn't exist. And then you looking at a man that everywhere they go, every nation on the planet says that's the devil when they see him. I went to Honduras, bro. I'm telling you, I said this before. There was Ethiopians there. There was a Korean. There was a few Judites there. There was of course, the Honduran people that were there. There was a Dominican brother there. There was even an Edomite, a chick from Finland, right? With her husband that was from Nigeria but lived in London. You had all these nationalities there. And the biggest question on their mind, with all that scholarly knowledge they had, some of them was engineers, some of them was just living off the land now because they were so damn rich they just could hang out wherever they wanted to, right? But the biggest question on their mind was, why are white people so evil? Like, they're trying to cure themselves of cancer and Crohn's disease and all this stuff, but they ain't worried about that. They're worried about, why is the white man so evil? Now, if that's the biggest question on these scholarly people's mind, man, then do you really got to go and find out who Satan is? Do we really got to sit on a street corner and say the white man's the devil? All you got to do is do your research, man. You could look at the things they do for recreation and say, you got to be the devil, man. You understand? You gotta be. You look at the statistics that they have floating around of that age of the average child molester, the age of the average serial killer, the age of the average genocidal maniac, the race of them. It's always a white man, 18 to 35. You understand? And we got the nerve to sit there and sit our kids on a fat white man's lap in the damn mall. Smelling like booze and everything. Y'all see that? It's not racism if it's true. That's one of their own said that. It's not racism if it's true, man. Now, you have some that are okay. Yeah. But eventually they gonna run back to their own people. Y'all see that? So, to answer your question, man, it's really, you gotta look at the things that the Most High has prepared for his counterpart. Revelation 13:10, right? He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth by the sword must be killed by the sword. You see that? So what's prepared for the devil and his angels? What's prepared for Satan? What did Satan do that was wrong in the eyes of the Most High? He led into captivity. He killed with the sword. You understand? And he killed the wrong damn people. He that toucheth you toucheth the apple of my eye. That's what the Most High said. Satan touched us. When he told Job, what did he tell Satan when he sent him for Job? Let's go there. Job chapter 1.
Job chapter 1, verse 6.
Let's get it, man.
Start chapter 1.
Cause you know these cats when we get on the corner, we try to tell them their history. They want to bring up the white man. Oh, well, Jesus loves everybody, and you got a lot of hate in you. Because I told you your history, bro.
Oh.
I didn't even say nothing about the white man to Issachar when we was out there. They was blasting off about how Jesus loves everybody and da 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 da. Like, nigga, what are you talking about? I'm talking about your history. You the one talking about the white man. You know what I mean? But let's go into their history. Let's look at them. And you tell me who is more devilish than these people. You understand?
Yeah.
Read that.
Job chapter 1, verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them.
Right.
And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it.
Right. So he came from going to and fro in the earth and walking up and down in it. That's all he do. What does Esau do? All right. Where they at on Snapchat today? I'm in the Bahamas. What are you doing? I'm over here in Thailand. What are you doing over here? Oh, I'm in Cambodia today. I'm just world hopping. I'm eating everything, having sex with everything I see. I'm giving everything AIDS and syphilis and everything that I got from everywhere else. Right? This is in their nature. Right? I'm going to and fro through the earth. You got Mark Zuckerberg, the Facebook guy, right?
Yeah.
Going to Hawaii. Was it Hawaii? Yeah, Hawaii. Buying up people's lands that were ancestral lands, bro. He found a loophole in the allodial titles that they have. A allodial title means that you pass it down from generation to generation. It can't be given over to nobody else. All right, so you own land. That's your kid's land when you die. You understand? Mm-hmm. Well, he found a loophole in that with his lawyers, and they bought out the land out from under these people that were living there for generations.
So they didn't sell it to him?
No, he just bought it out. He just took it, put a fence around it, kicked them out. Said it was his. You see that? Well, you ain't gonna have none of our people boycott Facebook. Nah, it's still 2 billion strong. You understand? But this is what they do. They walk up to and fro through the earth and they find out how to take other people's stuff, man. You understand? They damn near annihilated all the original inhabitants of New Zealand, Papua New Guinea. You got to research, man, and look at their history. Who was that guy you guys were talking about last class? The dude in the like 30s or something like that. The one that killed more people than Hitler. He killed like 100 million in Africa or something like that. Nobody said nothing. Lord something.
He castrated him too.
Among other things, yeah. Right? But that's another. As an act of war, who does that? You understand? Now, when we looked at Saul and it said he had a spirit on him, he had an evil spirit from the Lord on him, right? What's one of the orders he gave to David? I need 100 skins of the Philistines and you can marry my daughter. What the hell kind of prize is that? Who wants that? The devil. It was an evil spirit in him, right?
God.
That got into a man, and the man said, I want 100 foreskins of the Philistines. Y'all see that?
God.
Now you look at Esau. What's one of their orders they want to do when they go take over somebody? Let's cut their balls off. Why? Just kill them. What's your damn problem? Who the hell needs to castrate a nigga?
Crazy Esau.
And then let him heal back up and use him as a servant and have him walk around making him shave you because you like to play with death. You cut my nuts off and give me a razor. You ain't going nowhere.
No, that's right.
You gonna get the closest shave any man ever had. You understand? But like I said, all you gotta do is look at their history. It's not racism, it's not bigotry, it's just true. You see that? They put it in their own history books. They put it on their own movies and show you what they do. But what did they convince the world? We're the good guys. Well, that's the greatest trick the devil ever pulled. So you tell me who it is. You understand?
Come on.
Read on. Yeah, read on.
Verse 8. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man,
right?
One that feared God and escheweth evil.
See, he's one that fears the Most High and he escheweth evil. He tries to get away from evil as soon as he can. Go ahead.
Then Satan answered the Lord and said, Doth Job fear God for naught?
Don't he fear you for nothing? Go ahead.
Hast not thou made an hedge about him and about his house?
Don't you got him under your protection personally all the time? I mean, of course he's going to love you. Everybody loves the dude giving out candy. Everybody loves the guy that's giving out free money. Right? Go ahead.
And about all that he hath on every side.
Right?
Thou hast blessed the work of his hands.
Right. Everything you do, you bless it. Of course he loves you. You're a sugar daddy. Come on, man. Go ahead.
And his substance is increased in the land.
Right.
But put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he had.
Put forth your hand and touch everything he has. Now he told the Most High, keep note, he told the Most High, put forth your hand and touch everything he has, right?
Okay.
Read.
And he will curse thee to thy face.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, all that he had is in thy power.
See? Okay. So the Most High put forth his hand. Who was the Most High's hand?
Satan.
There you go. Right? It's like you watch Game of Thrones now, right? On the hand of the king. Well, that's a human being. It's not an actual hand, right?
Right.
He goes out and does the king's bidding. Right? You look at this. He's the Most High's hand. He was the Most High's left hand. Look, go do this. Okay, I'm going to go touch that. What's that?
I was going to say, it says it in Psalms too.
What?
It says that, well, I guess at this point Satan wasn't a man, but in Psalms it says that man is God's hands, that the wicked is a sword.
Right. Yeah, read on.
Verse 12. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, all that he had is in thy power, and only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went.
So he said, only toward himself, don't put your hand on it.
Right.
You see that?
Come on.
What do you think he told him for Israel? Look, everything they have is in your hand, but don't touch them. You see that? But at a certain point, he said, listen, okay, you're going to have to touch them. Now, you think he did it for our destruction? No. That's why he said, I have sifted you among the nations. He said, I put you in these situations, but not for your destruction. Right? He said that in the scripture. So he didn't do it for our destruction, but what is Satan doing? What is he trying to do every day? Yeah, he's trying to destroy. You understand? If it wasn't for the Most High, he would touch y'all. That's why he said he reserved a certain elect, because Satan is literally wiping out Israel. You understand? He's overstepped his bounds to where he's wiping out Israel. He's touching men, touching women as much as he can, as much as you allow him. That's why Paul had to say, don't give a foothold to Satan. Why? Because as soon as you give him an inch, he's going to try to wipe out your whole family, man. He's a ruthless bastard. You understand? He does not give a damn. That's why I marvel when brothers and sisters act like this is a game, man. I'm like, you can see his counterpart on earth. You can see what the white man is about. The Most High gave you that so you would have a vision of what's going on in that spiritual realm. You don't have to be able to see demons and spirits and like you're on Supernatural, right? Like you're on They Live or any of that stuff. You don't gotta have that kind of knowledge to peer into the dark realm and all that stuff like that. You don't have to have that. All you got to do is look at them cats as they work. Look what their professions and their jobs are. To serve and protect, but when they come to your house, like I told y'all about that cop, he was doing a welfare check on my aunt. But my cousin had called him over there, so he goes and grabs my aunt out the house. Then I yell at my cousin because I had already warned him, don't even come on my lawn. And the dude started walking toward me. So I yelled at him, get back. The cop unsnaps his gun. I'm wearing flip-flops and a t-shirt and some swim trunks. The dude unsnaps his gun first thing. Got taser, mace, a baton. But he unsnaps his gun first for me yelling. He didn't come out there to welfare check. He came out there to kill a nigga. You understand?
God.
This is that spirit that's on them. You understand?
God.
That's the demon that's on them. They want to touch you now. He's overstepped. Y'all see that?
God.
So we got to understand that if you give a foothold to him, if I would have kept it going, or if I wouldn't have checked the officer for unsnapping his gun, if I wouldn't have said nothing, if I wouldn't have put him on blast using wisdom, he would have blasted me. Y'all see that? If I wouldn't have told him, listen, I told y'all not to let this dude come on my property. If I hadn't used words like that, like my property, when they know Texas got to make my day law, now I had to put him on check. Like, oh, I'm on his property too. Yeah, you're all on my property. It could go there. But see, if I hadn't had to use wisdom, that would have went there. If I had gave that foothold to Satan and just started swinging on him in the middle of the street, it would have went there. You understand? Satan is not playing with y'all, man. Look at his counterpart on earth. He's looking for an opportunity to get you. And then there's someone more powerful that they answer to. They answer to a demon. They answer to Satan himself. He gives them their marching orders, man. So when you see them, you see Satan. You understand that? Really get it, because you Israelites play with this, man. They get this knowledge and they want to debate on Facebook. They want to have debates. I was watching a damn Zion Lex debate with some nigga number 3 in the movie. Brother whatever. You know what I mean? Some Egyptology dumbass. And I'm looking at them like, this is a damn circus, man. They're using all these big words and everything like that. And I'm like, I might as well be watching 2 gay niggas circle jerk, man. This is retarded. All this might, all this power, all this intelligence, and you sit in a room in the nigga's living room arguing with big words. You ain't been on no street corner. The dude Zion Lex has got his face shaved. All he do is rock a shield, but he don't do nothing Israelitish. Y'all see that? It's like, what the hell good are you? You're a waste of time, man. You can't fight the devil with a bunch of big fancy damn words. The hell you gonna do? Hyperbolize him to death? You're gonna metaphorically, allegorically destroy Satan? Get the hell out of here, man. All your $5 words, he's gonna squish your ass like a bug, man. All that's gonna go right down the toilet. That's why Paul said, I don't come at you with wisdom of man's words. Well, I'm looking at that, I'm like, man, I can't do a debate at this point. I used to want to do it. I used to want to, like, the radio show guy hit us up, and I'm like, yeah, maybe we should do a debate. I'm like, right now, the mindset I'm in, the debate would end like this. I'll pull my gun out on the cat that wanted to debate about Egyptology and say, would you die for that? Would you die for the gods of Egypt? Okay, then your theology don't mean nothing, because I'll die for this. You see that? We put our life on the line every day. We go out on the street when we do the street teaching, when we do the flyers, when we talk to anybody. You understand? Our life is literally on the line every day. We've been on the YouTube. Everybody's seen us. The white supremacists done seen us. The ones that want to get on the page and yell nigger, 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 nigger all the way down the thing, they done seen us. They know where we live. They know where we teach. We could have been firebombed, been shot up, been traced to where we live. You understand? So our life is literally on the line every day. We would die for this. Let me know when Shaka Utmost, with his little ponytail and bald head, is going to die for the Isis and Horus and Ra and El and all that. Y'all see that? We know Satan's after us. They ain't got nobody after them, man. There's nothing in none of them scrolls and none of them hieroglyphs and none of them carvings that's a prophecy saying, listen, this evil demon god is coming after you. Scriptures tell us Satan is walking everywhere looking for whom he can devour. Your adversary, the devil, he's pointing them out for you, is walking to and fro, seeking whom he may devour. Y'all see that? I'm not going to $5 word Satan to death. That ain't going to happen. You got to be ready to die for this. You got to be ready to live and set an example every damn day of your life for this. Y'all see that? But, you know, people want to treat it as a game. That's why you got to see and look at his counterpart in the earth. You know what I mean? There's going to be many temptations. The reason I got to go real deep into some of that is because there's going to be many temptations for you to be looking at some book of Enoch or some esoteric book, some pseudo-epigrapha, which, shoot, I got it right here if you want it. You know what I mean? We got that right here. Top of the thing, pseudo-epigrapha, right? Got it. All the missing books you can find. Tell you all the names of all the demons and angels and everything like that. What the hell you gonna do with it? You won't fight lust. You won't fight gluttony. You won't fight grudges. You won't fight hate between a man you could look at and see every day, but you're gonna jump off into the damn spiritual realm. Get the hell out of here, man. If y'all on Facebook into that stuff, y'all need to be ashamed of yourself, man, and get back in your Bible and stop acting retarded. Don't even let that tempt you, man. You understand? It's a shame to even speak of that stuff, man. But yeah, to answer your question, man, sorry I took it so far, man. But yeah, this is the thing that's going to happen to the devil and his angels, man. They got hell. Hell is prepared for him because yeah, he had a job to do, right? You see movies about the mob doing that, right? They send the hitman to go do something, but he killed everybody. Hey, I sent no women and kids. Well, I don't work like that. Now they put a hit on him, right? Right. Or I said kill everybody. You spared the girl because she was pretty or she was too young. Why did you not kill her? Then they put out a hit on him, right? So what do you think Satan did? There's some order, like the scriptures say, he charges his angels with folly. There's some order he gave to Satan that Satan overstepped. Well, what could that order have been? Let's look at his counterpart and see what they do.
Right.
Y'all understand?
Come.
It's simple as that, man. Let me hit some of these online, man, because they coming in now. How do I not celebrate the 4th? Stay in house, don't pop fireworks, don't look at the fireworks or any holidays. Jeremiah chapter 10.
Yes, sir.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
See that? Hear the word that the Most High speaks to the house of Israel. To you, if you're an Israelite, this is what you do. Read.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Right, and don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven. Don't be looking up at the fireworks and watching them pop up in the sky. Those are some of the signs of heaven. Don't be dismayed at that. Don't be scared of that. Don't be tripping about that. All right? Go ahead.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
Right, the heathen is looking up, fireworks. Look at it, it's exploding stuff. What do you want me to say? That's supposed to remind me of the bombs bursting in air that got you white people your freedom. Because on July 4th, 1776, my people were still picking cotton in your fields. The hell am I going to celebrate that for? That ain't when you freed us.
Thank you.
we had been in captivity for over 176 years when the fireworks was going off. So don't tell me that was my freedom. Do your research. Y'all see that? Do your research and find out what we were doing in 1776 and what they were doing. And then you decide if you want to go out there and pop fireworks with them. Go into the ways and see. Right? As we told you in Jeremiah, what was it, 6 and 16? Go into the ways and see. Go look at what they do. Go look at why they're doing it. Why are they popping fireworks? They were supposed to be representing the bombs that was bursting in air when they so-called won their freedom, even though America never won their freedom from Britain.
Right.
So what are they celebrating? Find out what the original lyrics to the Star Spangled Banner were. Is that the one? Yeah, the bombs bursting in air and all that stuff like that. Go find out what the original lyrics were to that. Show you that had nothing to do with you. That had to do with them beating the only black army the British came over here to fight against America with. When they beat them, that's when they decided they was going to sing. Now, I can tell you something, because white people can't sing. They can barely write music unless they steal it from a black man. But all of a sudden, they're good writers when it comes to rejoicing over black bodies. They got inspired at that point. Y'all see that? You want to find out about them? Go find out. Then you decide whether you want to go out there and even sit with a nigga that's over there oohing and eyeing about what's going on in the sky on 4th of July. Read on.
Verse 3. Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 3.
So that's it on that, right? He said, don't learn the way of the heathen. Go to Habakkuk. We're going to go to chapter 2 and start at verse 2.
Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 2.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables.
Write it down. Put it on tablets. Put it on tables. All right? Write the vision down. Write what I'm showing you down. That everybody can see.
That he may.
Writing about.
That he may.
Is that I'm writing about?
That he.
Stuff, man. Well, let's find out. Read on.
Verse 3. For the vision is yet an appointed time.
See, the vision is yet for an appointed time. This is going to happen around 1776. Go ahead.
But at the end it shall speak.
Go ahead. And at the end it's going to speak. It's going to be able to, you're going to see it point blank, period, who the devil really is. Go ahead.
And not lie.
And it ain't going to lie. Read on.
Though it tarry, wait for it.
Even though it's going to take a little bit, wait for it. It'll be there. Go ahead.
Because it will surely come. It will not tarry.
Read on.
Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
Now, he ain't said which he's talking about, right? He ain't said which he's talking about right here. But we're going to find out. You're going to see, you're going to have to match up the characteristics of whoever this he is. Now, obviously in chapter 1, he's talking about how the Chaldeans is going to come against these people and how, he's using these certain symbolisms. But those are long gone now. The Chaldeans are gone. The people that he's talking about in Habakkuk chapter 1, they're gone now. So, well, who are we talking about then? Because the vision is for an appointed time, and wait for it because it's going to come. That's what he was telling Habakkuk. That means it wasn't at the time he was talking about right now. All right? So let's find out what people now fit these characteristics. Read.
But the just shall live by his faith.
His spirit is lifted up. His spirit which is lifted up. Well, who got the pride? That's an idiom for being prideful. Your spirit is lifted up. You're puffed up. You got a big head, right? These are idioms. They're the likeness of something. His spirit which is lifted up, it's not upright. What type of person don't deal uprightly on this earth? They don't deal upright in anything they do, man. They make a law, they break it first. They make a contract, they break it first, and then try to arrest you because you're still upholding the contract. Whose spirit is that? Read on.
But the just shall live by his faith.
See, the just are going to live by their faith. Why? We ain't got nothing else to live by. We can't live by guns. Philandro Castile learned that. We can't live by our concealed carry. Philandro Castile learned that. We can't live by the economic system. Black Wall Street taught us that. We can't live by trying to do good for our own communities. The Black Panthers taught us that. I mean, what else? Can we live by the rap game? I think Biggie, Tupac, and every other dead nigga done taught us that. Right? So, even 50 been shot in the face, so the rap game ain't saving us. So what are we going to live by? We got to live by our faith, man. It ain't going to be our guns and the force of our arms. We ain't got it. You get a criminal record for going to jail on a speeding ticket, man. Cop come by, bang your damn, you holding on to the bars asking for a phone call. He bang your damn knuckles open, break his nightstick, and charge you with some assault. Now you got a felony for being in there on. You come out, you want to buy a gun like that. Guess what? They got your license plate in the system, and oh, look at this, you got an unlicensed weapon in here. You going to jail for 10 to 15. But the normal sentence is 3 to 5. No, you going for 10 to 15. Y'all see that? Because we're gonna tack on intent. We're gonna tack on what we think you thought you were gonna do with it. Y'all see that?
Gone.
They the ones that do this. They not upright. Read. Now, if it's racism, let me stop right here. Let me add a little thought like Jerry Springer, right? If it's racism, if it's bigotry, if it's prejudice, right? Is it true or not? All right? Am I making this up? Or do you watch this on the news every day? Did you watch on the news that they gave the white woman $1.3 million for her dead dog that the police shot? Did you watch that? But when they were supposed to give the black brother his settlement for when the police brutalized him, they locked his ass up the next year and broke his back in the paddy wagon and said he did it himself. Did you watch that? I mean, but maybe I'm lying. Maybe I'm just racist. Read on. Let's find out some more characteristics, man. Yeah, let's see if you really want to be out there 4th of July with these caps with your sparklers on. All right? Go ahead.
Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgressed by wine.
Right. And you go into the history and you find out how they took over the Native Americans here in what you call America. They transgressed by wine. That's what they brought them, man. They brought them rock from it. When you drink it, it's like drinking apple. Ulcers and everything at a young. They would sell whiskey, offered them that. Their fault? No, because it takes two to tango. Somebody sold it. Somebody dangled it in front of them, but somebody had to reach out and grab it. You understand?
Come.
So that's how the devil works, though. He don't make you do anything. You understand?
Come.
As I was showing my son, man, I was watching that show Supernatural a little bit, man, because it's a good show, good writing. I'm like, he's looking at me when he sees the little demon jump into the person. I'm like, nah, you can't do that. You gotta let him in. You can't just possess you. You gotta let him in. You gotta be doing something wicked as hell. You gotta be doing some sin and be on the wrong side of the Most High for him to let that happen to you. Y'all see that?
Come.
You gotta sign a contract with him. What's the contract you sign? As soon as you step out of this contract. As soon as you break this contract, you in another contract. You for one morsel of meat sold your soul. You understand? He transgresseth by wine, right? They the ones love playing the drinking games. They the ones love putting liquor stores on every street corner in the black and Hispanic community. And they got none in theirs. They the ones love getting you intoxicated on every drug that they created and that God created and that they mixed with man and God's creation. Read on.
He is a proud man.
Now, hold on. Let me stop there. Okay. Let me play devil's advocate, I guess. If it wasn't the white man, if it's not the white man, if you're still at that point where you're defending him, who put the drugs in your community? How did they get there? Is it Colombian drug dealers on your street corner? They ain't even letting Mexicans in and they are neighbors. You think a Colombian came all the way from Colombia with a big bag of coke? Like, ho, 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 here's some coke. They're in a third world country down there, man. And all of a sudden they got planes flying from Colombia and somehow getting all this Colombian cocaine into America. Who did that? What niggas? They try to give you American Gangster and act like he's the one that did it. Denzel's biggest dumbass mistake in the world, letting them pin that on a black man. And him starring in the movie so everybody would watch it. Right. So niggas would think that's cool. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be just like him. I'm gonna be Frank White. Frank White dead. Frank White got locked up. Frank White got shut the hell down. You know what I'm saying?
God.
But what? They made him glamorize it. Why? So they could show you that, oh, it was you guys that did it. Biggest trick the devil ever pulled. Convince you it wasn't him. It's their characteristics, man. Let's read on.
Neither keepeth at home.
And he don't keep at home. He don't stay in his own lane. He don't stay in his own land. Why are we in a European kingdom right now on the Western Hemisphere? Europe is in the Eastern Hemisphere. It's thousands of miles away. Why the hell are you under European rule currently? Because this man don't keep at home. Chinese don't do that. They ain't invading Russia. They ain't invading Africa. They're not invading South America. They're not invading nowhere. America, I think, is currently in an invasion of like 92 countries right now. He's a proud man. He keep it not at home. That no other country got those statistics, man. Then they got the nerve to be mad at Russia for messing with Cuba. Like, Russia just shook hands with the Cubans. They didn't invade and take over and now Cubans are speaking Russian. All they did was shake hands with Castro. America was upset. But nigga, you are invading everywhere. You invading anything that got anything that you don't have. Who does that? Y'all see that?
God.
Read on. Let's find out some more characteristics about him. Like I said, let's see if we should be celebrating 4th of July with him, man.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell.
He enlarges his desire as hell. That means he always wants something he don't have. Hell wants you. Satan desires to have you and sift you as wheat. What does the white man want? He want to have you and sift you up as wheat. He want to grind you down to your melanin and sell that. Inject that into his body. He want to take your vital organs. He want to kidnap your kids. You understand?
God.
If you don't believe me, get in an altercation with the police. And if you survive it, tell me all about it. Tell me how he went for his gun first when he had 3 other non-lethal weapons on his belt. Tell me about that. Tell me about how he had steel-toed boots on, fighting skills, right? Non-aggression training, verbal judo, they called it. He had all that, but he still wanted to shoot you in the face. Tell me about it if you lived through it. It ain't us getting to do it. Read on.
And is as death.
And he's as death. So the Most High said he enlarges himself as hell and is as death. So why do we call the white man the devil? Because this person with this spirit on him that they just happen to coincide with is as hell and death. What else are we supposed to call him? Who lives in hell? Who wants to kill, steal, and destroy? Well, the Bible says the devil, right?
Come.
But when I look around, ain't no niggas with pitchforks trying to kill, steal, and destroy me or my children. I don't have to warn my son about walking down the street and if a red dude with a pitchfork come out, run away from him. So who's the devil? Who's the boogeyman? I don't gotta warn him, hey, don't go to a guy's van that got a pitchfork and red horns. If a stranger tell you to come with him and he said I told you so, don't go with him. Especially if we got a tail and a pitchfork and horns. Nope. I gotta warn him about a certain people on the earth. Ain't that sad? That our people don't see it is the sad part. Make you want to cry. That our people are still blind and will sit there and defend this bastard, man. They'll defend the man that's been raping and robbing and murdering them and their people, man. This coon. That's the only word I could call this Issacharite man this Mexican I talked to the other day, man. He came over here barely able to speak English, man. He's sitting over here. He got legal. He got himself a job. I'm like, yeah, okay, well, you're good. Well, this nation, this is where I got my wife. This is where I got this and that. Okay, you're good. What about Juan Hernandez? They choked outside of Denny's. That's right. You're good. You got yours. What about the rest of your people, man? What about the little 14-year-old Mexican boy that they shot? The cops shot him for nothing. What about that unarmed Mexican that was coming home he had a bag of fruit or something on his shoulders, and the cops shot him from across the street? Didn't even have the nuts to go up and shoot him in the face. What about the rest of your people, man? What about that wall Trump trying to build? What about the deportation of them from their own land? What about that, bro? Oh, you're good. You got your wifey and your little picket fence. You got everything the white man told you get to have as a Mexican. You got his Scooby snack, so you're good. You're a good, obedient little puppy. Scooby snacks. That's how niggas act, man. This dude was defending it like these are your people, man. I already laughed in his face. Where you at, man?
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5.
He enlarges his desire as hell and is as death, right?
Gone.
And
cannot be satisfied.
He ain't never satisfied with that. Read on.
But gathereth unto him all nations.
He does what?
Gathereth unto him all nations.
But give me you're tired, you're poor and hungry. Written on the Statue of Liberty. You know what the Statue of Liberty is, right? Y'all did the research on that? The goddess of the underworld? Yeah, it used to be a black woman. When the French made the Statue of Liberty, that's what you see when you go to France. They still got the little mini version over in France, standing to this day. She's black. You understand? She's a welcoming, nourishing, loving black woman. But when America seen that, it was like, nah. We're going to make her the goddess of the underworld. You can see that same statue echoed in Greek and Roman mythology, and all the way back to Babylon with Semiramis. And all the way back to the Assyrians, and all the way back before that is the goddess of the underworld, man. They're telling you who's hell and who is death. You understand? They got a big ass sign for when you come in here on your boat. You can look and say, hey, welcome to hell. This is the goddess of hell. That way they can say, we didn't lie to you. We told you was coming to hell. You're the nigga that wanted to live here. We didn't want you. See that? Then in the right hand, they want to offer you food and shelter and all this stuff like that. So what do? You become Esau. You sell yourself for one morsel of meat. You sell yourself for government cheese. You sell yourself for food stamps, Section 8 housing, welfare, TANF, the good life, Kool-Aid. What else, man? Peanut butter in a black and white can. You sell yourself for that, man. They don't make you do that. That's the devil's type of trick, man. Let's see what else. Go ahead.
And heapeth unto him all people.
And he heaps unto him all people, man. But you can go on and on, man. But you let me know, just seeing those characteristics and knowing whose holiday it is, it's not your holiday. You let me know if you're down with celebrating any of these holidays or even taking part. You understand? The only thing I would want exploding is a hand grenade thrown from my hand into the nearest police station. That's a happy 4th of July for me. Alright? So I wouldn't be popping nothing off in the air. Alright? What else we got, man? Amos 3:3. A little more understanding, and does it tie in with Leviticus 26, verse 23 and 24? So Amos 3:3 tells you what? Can two walk together unless they be agreed, right? Is that it? No. That's 3:6. I'm sure. Amos 3:3 says, thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Damascus, and for 4 I will. No, that's 1:3. 3:3. There you go. Can 2 walk together unless they be agreed, right?
Yeah.
So Leviticus 26, verse 23 is going to say what?
26 and 23?
Uh-huh.
Leviticus chapter 26, verse 23. And if ye will not be reformed by me, by these things, but will walk contrary unto me, then will I also walk contrary unto you, and I will punish you yet 7 times for your sins.
Perfect. Yeah, it definitely coincides. All right, because go back to Amos 3:3.
Amos chapter 3, verse 3. Can 2 walk together except they be agreed?
Right. Go ahead.
Will a lion roar in the forest when he had no prey? Will a young lion cry out of his den if he have taken nothing?
Mm-hmm.
Can a bird fall in a snare upon the earth where no gin is for him?
No, I'm sorry. Start at verse 2.
Verse 2.
Start at 1. Start at 1. That's the explanation right there.
God, Amos chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
All children of who?
O children of Israel.
Okay, go ahead.
Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
Right, so he's showing you that he's talking to you, Israel. He's talking to you. If y'all want to walk contrary to me, I'm going to walk contrary to you. We can't walk together because we don't agree. So yeah, that's a perfect precept for that. All right. What else we got? We read that for Kinfolk Jones. We read that in Revelation 13 and 10. The question is, what happens to the good white people who keep the Most High's commandments? We read it in Revelation 13 and 10. All right? He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. He that leadeth into captivity must go into captivity. So they're going to go into captivity if they're so-called good white people. Give me Ezekiel 33, verse 15.
Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 15. Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 15. If the wicked restore the pledge, give again that he had robbed, walk in the statutes of life without committing iniquity.
So if the wicked, who according to the scriptures, there's only one general people that fit that description. Right? Now, are there wicked Israelites? Hell yeah, they gonna die too. Alright? But en masse, the ones that have no that have no no chosen elect or anything like that going for them, that they're only gonna be left down to about a remnant. In general, we talking about these people, the wicked. Alright? The ones that know what the laws of the Most High are and use them as a checklist of what they're gonna do anyway. Alright?
Got it.
So, he said, if the wicked restore the pledge, go ahead.
Give again that he had robbed, walk in the statutes of life, without committing iniquity, he shall surely live. He shall not die.
He said he shall surely live and he won't die. Alright? So, no, he's not going to be the part that he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. However, he will go into captivity. See, that's the thing about the Most High, is he put it in the contract. He ain't gonna die. Like, he ain't gonna be reigning up here. He ain't gonna be sitting on those 12 thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. He's not gonna be up in heaven hanging out with me. You understand? No, he gonna be your servants. Isaiah chapter 2, Isaiah chapter 60. Alright, we go through those scriptures a lot. Alright, so that's what's gonna happen to the so-called good white people. There's another thing I'm looking for. Yeah, Isaiah 13 and 14. Isaiah 13 and 14. Get that real quick.
Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 14.
Now, to cover myself so y'all don't think that this is coming from, because I talk kind of passionately on certain subjects, and we pretty much talk passionately on all subjects, especially wicked niggas in Israel. All right? But on this subject, I have an in-depth knowledge of this, as well as, niggerdom of our people too. All right, so because that's easy. It's easy to know wickedness. You was raised in it, right?
Yeah.
It's easy to, and then if all you want to do is try to guess or venture into white territory, all you got to do is think of the wickedest things a person could imagine to do to another person, and they're doing it. All right, look it up on the internet. Hey, why the hell would I think like that? Let me look on the internet. Let me see who's doing that. Ooh, white people. Let me see. Man, can't nobody have ever thought that wicked a thought ever in their life. There's an entire webpage dedicated to it. Oh my God. It ain't none of our people on there. There's blogs. There's chat rooms. You understand? There's clubs. There's places, there's meeting places you can go and meet with other people that think that one little sick thought that repulse you. There are entire groups of people meeting on that and having drinks over that thought. Alright, so if you think it's coming from some deep-seated place of hate, nah, I used to love everybody, man. I used to be cool with everybody until I started reading their history. You understand? Then I started watching them on the news, and I started watching their current situations, and I started living, walking, and breathing around them. You see that? This is coming from a place of experience, not hate. This is just knowledge. Don't let me become your enemy because I teach you the truth, man. Where you at?
Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 14. And it shall be as the chaste robe.
It should be as what?
As the chaste robe.
See, it's not gonna be 4th of July where you're gonna gather with these cats and pop fireworks with them and all that. It's gonna be as a chaste robe. You're gonna want to run away when you read about these things that they do. When you read the scriptures and look at their history. When you read their history and look at that. you're gonna want to run away. You're gonna be like the Chase Road. You're gonna hear a white man coming. I gotta go. Cop gonna turn the siren on. You're gonna jump out the car. Here, you can have it. Bye. Go ahead.
And as a sheep that no man taketh up.
See, that day when the Most High sends Yahushua to bring that vengeance on them for what they've done, it's gonna be like a Chase Road, man. You're gonna be like, oh, I know who he coming for. Sorry, Jim. I gotta go home for any reason under the sun. Sorry, Bill, we can't hang out today. Big giant black man appeared in the sky, and I know he's coming to stomp y'all. You know what you did. Go ahead.
And as a sheep that no man taketh up.
Read on.
They shall every man turn to his own people.
Every man gonna turn to his own people. So that good white guy you thought was down with you, he gonna run back to his own people, man. You understand? When the stuff cracks off and Christ starts separating the sheep from the goats with them angels, they start moving the sheep from the goats over here. Everybody going to their own people, man. All that integration, Martin Luther King dream BS you got in your brain gonna be flushed right down the toilet. Everyone's going to their own people. Go ahead.
And flee every one into his own land.
See that? And he going back to his own land. He going back to Europe. He going back to the Caucasus Mountains. He going back up there to fish in the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea and eat his little gefilte fish like a good little bastard. All right? That's what's going to happen. They ain't going to come and hang around you. They ain't going to be in the hood. They going to flee to their own people, their own land. You understand?
God.
He ain't even going to be, he going to be hit deep in Shaniqua, pull out and run down to his own people and leave her there with the baby. You understand?
God.
Serena Williams' husband, he going to be gone. Right? Who else sold out? That Tate Diggs' wife, she gonna be gone. You understand? His little black son that he's trying to make think he's white, he gonna run off to them and they gonna hang his ass right in front of Tate Diggs. The Bible said it, man. We ain't gotta lie. They going back to their own people. There ain't gonna be no so-called good white man with you. You understand? And when the angels come, they're going to separate that. If they ever slaughtered those people, they're going to say, okay, you was a good white man, you gave alms and did all that, okay, here's your shackles, here's your manacles, go serve this Jew. You understand? Go be a nursemaid. Go take care of his kids. Go scoop up his dog. But you know what? Pretty much just do whatever that man tell you to do. He wants you to be a footrest. You be the best footrest you could be. Welcome to Israel. You understand? That's how it's going to be, man. It's laughable because we always do that. We always worry about what's going to happen to them. You know what I mean? I remember doing it. Well, Jesus loves everybody. What's going to happen to the poor pygmies in Australia that I didn't give a damn about before you told me Jesus was black? I love that one, man. Well, if he's only here for Israel, then what about the white man? Huh? The one you gotta beg for your 2 cents that you get from your job? The one that takes out a 50-year check? And don't fix a single pothole in your neighborhood? The one that's been raping your women and children throughout millennia? Not just centuries, not just years, but millennia. That guy? You want to worry about what's going to happen to him? It's sad, man.
It is.
I ain't popping fireworks with them, and I ain't worried about what they going, because the Bible told me don't worry about what's going to happen to the wicked. You understand? You said worry about your own righteousness.
Man, I haven't touched the firecracker since 1964. Seriously.
Good.
I don't have nothing for it.
But you know what? There's more deaths from them Christmas trees than there were fireworks. You want to see some bombs bursting in there? Wait till one of them Christmas lights go on the fridge and catch fire to that tree, and all the needles try to, it becomes combustible, right? And when the needles are dry, every little particle, that's how flames work. It tries to eat up all the fuel at once. That's what an explosion is. That's why you got cats, they about to throw out their old Christmas tree, so January 25th come around and they still ain't threw it out. And that thing been dry as hell, and they scrape it on the wall and blow themselves into the apartment building next door. That happens more often than firework deaths, man. What, the tree catch fire because you done wrapped it in every flammable material on the planet and then put electricity around that and then let the tree dry out? And got the nerve to sit in front of your TV listening to Smokey the Bear while you got you ain't sprayed one flame retardant chemical on that tree? You worried about a forest fire and you done burned down your whole hotel complex, your whole apartment complex, your house, blew yourself into the neighbor's yard. Merry Christmas, I'll put him next to the ham, I guess. That nigga done. Yeah, our people is retarded, man. Because we go along with the nonsense, man. We go along with it. That's the sad part. Was that it? Where were you?
You want verse 15?
Nah. It's a good one, but nah.
Okay.
You know what? Yeah, read verse 15.
Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 15.
It's needed.
Everyone that is found shall be thrust through.
They're going to join hand in hand.
Everyone that is found shall be thrust through.
They'll be counted as good white people.
Everyone that is found shall be thrust through.
We'll get to intermarry with them.
Everyone that is found shall be thrust through.
But we make pretty babies together. She has blue eyes.
Everyone that is found shall be thrust through.
I didn't say it. I didn't write it. Don't kill the messenger. Read on.
And everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
And everybody that want to be police, everybody that want to be in the military, everyone that want to kill other brown people in the name of some dumbass white people, you going to be killed. You going to be destroyed. Y'all see that?
Gone.
Like I said, I didn't write it. What else we got? Hopefully that's answering your questions. I hope I'm not being too hostile. But then again, I really hope our people are waking up through the hostility. Genesis 15 verse 13, the first prophecy that we will be in this slavery. Yes. I already know where we're going, but yes. Go to Genesis 15 verse 13.
Genesis chapter 15 verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs.
See, know of a surety that your seed is going to be some strangers in a land that is not theirs. All right? Now that happened when we went into Egypt, right? We went into Egypt. We was in a land that was not ours. That was not the promised land. And we were there for a long time. We were there for about 430 years. But we were ruling there. So that does not fulfill this prophecy. Watch, read on.
And shall serve them.
Shall what?
And shall serve them.
We ruled as the Hyksos kings of Egypt for 350 years. So that was not the one, that was not the captivity he was speaking on. We were only in slavery there for 80 years. Read Exodus chapter 1. When you read Exodus chapter 1, we went in slavery when Moses was born. And then when Moses was 80, he took our asses out of there. So that was the end of that, 80 years. All right? This that he's talking about, know of a surety that your children will be in a land that is not theirs and will serve. Go ahead.
And they shall afflict them. And they shall afflict them 400 years.
Right. They shall afflict them 400 years. Now know this, your terms in your Bible, the years that you get in your Bible are rounded off figures. So we've been here around about, what, 430 years, something like that. It's here around 400 years. All right. He's not going to give you times like 419 and a half years. All right. He ain't doing that. He said we're going to be in a land that we're going to be in captivity. We're going to be servants for 400 years. And this is where you are. All right. You want to take from 1619 to 2019, you could do it like that. If you want to say like some smartasses and be exact and say 1617 to 2017, and we're going to be free this year, or whatever you want to do, it's a rounded off number. All right, no man's going to know the time when Christ is going to be sent down to deliver us, but it's roughly around 400 years. All right, now we stop being servants around that 400-year mark. All right, servants as in slaves in manacles and shackles. You understand? In that type of affliction. Why? Because we started getting the truth around the year 1970. All right, so that's around 350 years of slavery. All right, round up 400 years. That's what they taught you in elementary school, right? Round up, round down. All right, so we were here about 350 years, started getting the truth. Some of our people still want to be niggas. They still want to be in slavery. They still want to be homeborn slaves, house niggas. That's them. All right, we free. All right, like the scripture said, now you are free, or now you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. And then he said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So we free and clean. Those of us that believe in the Bible. All right? Those that don't, they still in slavery. They keeping us on that 400-year ride. All right? Because it wasn't a specific term. It wasn't, but Samuel, he'll be free. And what's your name again, brother? Clifton, he'll be free. And Damashai, she'll be free. No, he didn't give. He was being generalized. He was generalizing and saying, in general, your people, all your children, will be serving for 400 years. You understand? So the ones that made it and they got a little something, it's not talking about them. It's generalizing. Our people are slaves. Israel's a servant. They're a homeborn slave. Jeremiah 2:14, right? Okay. So he said that we were going to be, this was one of the prophecies that we were going to be in slavery, but it is not the first prophecy that we were going to be in slavery. Genesis 3. Yeah, the first prophecy that we was going to be in slavery is Genesis chapter 3, right after Adam and Eve messed with that fruit. Yes, sir. Genesis chapter 3. You can start at verse 16. No, 15. Sorry.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman.
So this is what the Most High was telling Satan, the serpent. That old devil, the serpent, and Satan. That old red serpent, the devil, and Satan. Right? This is what he was telling him at the time. He said, I'm going to put enmity between you and her. Go ahead.
And between thy seed and her seed.
And between your seed and her seed. The things that come out of her loins. Go ahead.
It shall bruise thy head.
So her seed's going to bruise your head. Go ahead.
And thou shalt bruise his heel.
And you're going to bruise his heel. You're going to make life hard for him. Go ahead.
Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
All right, so you're going to be a slave to sorrow in your conception. Go ahead.
In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband.
Right. Go ahead. So that was the woman being put in subjection to her husband. That was her slavery. Go ahead.
And he shall rule over thee.
And he shall rule over you. That was her being put into slavery and subjection. All right. Read on.
And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree which I command thee, saying.
So Adam got told, what you gonna do? Read.
Thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake.
The ground's cursed for your sake. Everywhere you go, it ain't just gonna spit out flowers like you the great Buddha. All right. Everywhere you go, trees ain't just gonna grow out from your footprints. Go ahead.
In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life.
You're going to eat in sorrow from the ground every day of your life, man. Every day you're going to hear about somebody in your family drop dead. Every day you're gonna hear about somebody got hurt, somebody got stabbed. Every day you're gonna eat the fruit and then read on the internet what kind of pesticide they done sprayed on it and how it's genetically modified in 5 to 10 years. This and that in it. You know what I mean? You're like, damn. Monsanto. Like, you know, the ground is soft. Read on.
Thorn.
They plant fruit trees you got. Easily right down the tree, an apple tree, could you have done just as easily as you planted one of these decorative trees? Right? All over your neighborhood. The trees. And God forbid your juice on the planet. You like $10. They try to cover it. You know what I mean? If you juicing on that GMO, because they coated in the wax as a preservative ground and it past the skin, that thing turned old in an hour. How the hell you got it up in the grocery store for a week? It was coated, right? In the sweat of your brow, you gonna eat from this earth, man. It's gonna. Y'all see that? That's just slavery. That started at Adam. What else?
So thou will turn for out of it, for out.
Is that it? Side of the Most High. His left hand. On the right hand is Christ. According to Acts down, you're reading about Christ being on the right hand of the Most High. So the left hand, when he said, now put your hand to him, he said, okay, go ahead. You the hand, go do it. Y'all understand?
Come.
All right, what else we got? Question?
There was a question before that question.
Before who's?
It said, please elaborate and explain 1 Corinthians 15 and 56.
Yeah, let's get it. 1 Corinthians 15, verse 56.
15 to 56.
Fine.
1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 56.
The law, you're sinning. And from the scriptures and the cliche that they beat, the strength of sin is the law. What makes it so that you know about sin?
The law.
There you go. So you see the full strength of it. You see what it is to not honor your father and mother. You get kicked out your damn house. You get treated like a rat, and nobody likes you. Then the Most High will like you. He don't bless you in your ways because honor your father and your mother is the first commandment that had a promise to it. Did y'all know that?
Got it.
It was the first commandment he ever said, listen, if you do this, I'll do this for you. Yeah. What was that? 1 Corinthians 3 and 9 says that? Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise. I think it's 3 and 9, right? That's the first one the kids learn? 6 and 9?
Colossians 3 and 9.
Oh, Colossians. Is it now? Colossians 3 and 9? I get the C's mixed up. Let's see. Hit Colossians 3 and 9 for me. Let me see if that's it.
Colossians chapter 3, verse 9.
No.
What was your question?
It was,
What scripture were you looking
give me a second. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise. got them solid in my head, and then it ain't that. Nah, it's in the New Testament.
Ephesians 6:2.
Is that it? Wow, that was way off. Read that. Ephesians 6:2.
Ephesians chapter 6, verse 2. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise.
See that? He said, honor your father and mother. That's the first commandment with promise. Y'all see that? So it's the first one that he ever told you, listen, do this and this will be good for you. These things will happen for you. These blessings will come upon you. All right? So when we go to go back to 1 Corinthians 15 verse 56, what was the strength of sin? Well, the strength of sin was the law. Why? Because now you got to see what happened when you sinned. Now you got to see how powerful it was that you had sinned, because the law told you exactly what was going to happen. You understand? The law told you, listen, if you do this, this will happen. But let's go back. Read that again.
1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 56.
Mm-hmm.
The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law.
Go ahead.
But thanks be to Yahweh, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Yahushua.
You're at 1 Corinthians what?
15, verse 56. That was 57.
So the sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to the Most High, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Yahushua. Let's see. And I know what you're talking about, because a lot of people, they try to use this to say that the law is what makes us sin. The law doesn't make you sin. That's why you got to read Romans and understand it. The law is not what makes you sin. All right, so giving you a precept with that, we're going to go to Romans. It should be 7. Yeah, we're going to read Romans chapter 7. And you can start at verse 9.
Romans chapter 7, verse 9.
Start at 7 and 7.
Romans chapter 7, verse 7. What shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid. Nay, I had not known sin, but by the law. For I had not known lust, except the law had said, thou shalt not covet.
See? What was the strength of covetousness? The law coming in showing you, listen, thou shalt not covet. You wouldn't even known that was a sin, that it was a transgression of the Most High's ways and laws, if the law hadn't told you that. You wouldn't know you was pissing the Most High off, except the law told you this is what doesn't please the Most High. You understand it?
Come.
All right, read on.
Verse 8. But sin, taking occasion by the commandment, wrought in me all manner of concupiscence.
Concupiscence. See, sin took occasion by the commandment, and it got me thinking on these things that some of these I would have never thought to do. Yeah, see that? Some people you ain't got to tell, hey, don't have sex with another man. Some people are just like, who does that? What's that about? Let me inquire now. That makes them curious. You see that? Paul's trying to show you, listen, for a righteous man, this is weird. The law is weird. Because the law is like, wow, people do that? Just like I was telling y'all about the things. Y'all wouldn't have known about some of the things if I hadn't said it, right? Like, a Prince Albert, what the hell is that? Now you got to look it up. Why do people do that? Then you go inquire, and the internet tells you why they do it. You know what I mean? Oh, the internet says it's for the sexual pleasure of the woman. I want to please my woman. Let me try that. That's how sin took occasion of the law and slew you. Because it made you aware of certain things you, as a righteous man, might not have even thought about. You understand? Shoot, if I'm trying to think of how that was giving that to Moses. Like, you know what I mean? Like, listen, if a woman approached any beast, you want to write that down for real? If she did, never mind, they did it in Egypt. I know what you're talking about. But imagine trying to give that to Abraham. What? I ain't writing that. That's nasty. Y'all see that? This is the things we got to understand. For a righteous man, that's something where sin takes occasion through the law, enslaves you. You're like, what? I would have never thought of that. What's that about? And a righteous man's going to research and try to find out. They meticulous what they study. They going to think, right? They going to sit there and study and try to find out, what is that about? Why does that not please the Most High? And now I'm in a whole other genre of things I never thought about before. Read on.
For without the law, sin was dead.
See, without the law, there's certain things I didn't know I was even transgressing against the Most High. Sin was dead to me. I didn't know what sin was.
Right.
Just like dead people. I don't know them. I don't see them. I don't know nothing about them. Right? So without the law, sin was dead to me. I wouldn't have known about sin until the law told me what it is. Till the law told me what not to do and what to do. Read.
Verse 9. For I was alive without the law once. But when
I was alive without the law once. I was living it up, man. I was living the life. You know what I mean? I was going to clubs, banging all the little hotties you could find, doing all the drugs, eating whatever you wanted to, right? Living it up. The good life. Ain't that what they call it? Right? You look at Ludacris on Instagram, man. You over here on the beach, you got a big cigar everywhere. That's the star of his thing, is cigar. You know what I mean? He eating at some fancy restaurant. It ain't fancy unless it got pork and whatever kind of weird squid or whatever on there. You know what I mean? Like, and then you show a cat like that the law, and then it's like, oh, man, I was living a good life. Why you tell me that? I was eating camel humps and bull testicles and bacon wrapped, what, a squid, whatever, right? I was eating every damn thing. Now you telling me I can't do it? Aw, man. What's life without that? What's life without the Baconator pizza, man? That's the pizza where you get bacon with Canadian bacon, with ham, with sausage, with every type of part of the pig on there. And cheese.
I got a story about that.
What's that?
My boy, he had one of those that had all that on it.
Yeah.
And they didn't put it up at the end of the night. This was some years ago before he learned the truth.
Right.
And they left it on the counter. And he said when they went back to it, he said it was crawling. The pizza, like on the inside. And he was like, what the hell is this? It was the maggots and all that, all them worms that's in the pig getting bigger and moving around that you can see them now.
Wow.
Yeah. He was like, man, Blanca, that's real.
Bruh.
From then on, I stopped eating it.
And that's after they ran it through the oven?
Yeah. This is after they ran it through the oven. They took some home. They took it home, ate part of the pizza, left it sitting out overnight, and then went back to it in the morning.
Damn.
Yeah.
all these people eating cold pizza.
That pizza could have delivered itself, man.
Yes.
That's disgusting, man. But then, you try to tell your people that, and they don't want to hear it until they see it crawling across their counter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Then it's, oh yeah, I gotta stop eating that.
Yeah.
Well, what about when God said it?
Mm-hmm.
What about when Yahweh wrote it in a book and told you not to do it? Niggas will read a 25-page manual on something for dummies, right? Coffee for dummies, computer hacking for dummies, right? But get the Bible that's 1,500 pages and act like it ain't true. And believe in the whatever book for dummies and leave the Bible alone.
Right.
Don't make no damn sense, man. That's nasty though. Read on.
Verse 9. But when the commandment came, sin revived, and I died. Verse 10.
See, when the law came, sin revived and I died. I'm like, oh, that got what in it? Oh, man. No. That was my life. Right? You tell people, they be like, you be like, you can't eat pork. Oh, that's my life, though. Pork chop Friday? No. Right? Wait, no. Pig feet Monday and pig ear Tuesday and pork chop Friday. And like, damn, you just a pig for every day of the week, for real? Homemade sausage Wednesday, that's all gone? Yes. But that was my life. That's what he's talking about, all right? So read that again.
Verse 9. For I was alive without the law.
See, I was living without the law, man. I was doing it up. Go ahead.
But when the commandment came, sin revived, and I died.
See, but when the commandment came, it was like, oh, damn. I guess I'll just eat lamb. Damn, all right. What? So no clam chowder, no oysters, no sex on the beach after the big oyster and lemon meal, none of that. No.
No butterfly shrimp.
Right. Popcorn shrimp, none of that. No red lobster? Come on, man. All that's gone. See that? Because the law came in and it killed you. It killed that life. It killed that old man. Y'all see that?
Come.
And then it said it did what? Read that last precept again.
When the commandment came, sin revived, and I died.
See, when the commandment came, then sin revived. Sin got reminded to me that these things were displeasing to the Most High, and I died. My old man died. I had to give that life up. Go ahead.
Verse 10. And the commandment which was ordained to life, I found to be unto death.
Right. See? The death of what? The death of me? No. The death of the old me. Y'all see that? It made me mortify the deeds of the flesh. It made me see what kind of carnal person I was and to leave that carnality alone. Go ahead.
For sin, taking occasion by the commandment, deceived me, and by it slew me.
See? Sin took occasion by the commandment and deceived me. How does that work? Like I told y'all, the wicked, they got a checklist of what you're not supposed to eat. And they make sure it's in everything. They take occasion by the commandment to kill you. They take occasion by that Leviticus 11, and they make sure you got shrimp in your M&Ms, your Skittles, they make sure you got pork in your gummy bears, you got pork in your Cheerios, your Oreo cookies. They make sure you got pork in every damn thing. Remember Twinkies, man? When I heard about that, I was like, ooh, no, not Twinkies. Zingers, everything with a cream filling. Yeah, everything with a cream filling. That's lard. That's just pork fat.
I wasn't a fan to begin with, so.
Oh, I just killed him. I know how I got diabetes. It ain't no joke. You know what I mean? You go down to the corner store, you go down, you know what I mean? Cats are selling them at school. You kill those. Shoot. If you go to the grocery store now, the whole pack of Little Debbie's is 89 cents. For 12 of them. I'm going to go to the apple cart and give me a $1 apple when Little Debbie's is 12 for 89 cents? Come on, man. That don't sound like a bargain. We broke. We poor. See that? But see, sin takes taking occasion by the commandment did what? Read again.
Verse 11. For sin taking occasion by the commandment deceived me.
See, it deceived me. See that? It took occasion by the commandment and it deceived me. I was like, oh damn. Wow, you just crept right in there. I didn't even know this had pork in it. I didn't know this had shrimp in it. I didn't know this was made of, my Chinese food got oyster sauce all over it. You telling me that's what the brown sauce is on my beef and broccoli? I finally thought I was eating kosher, man. I was like, shoot, nothing with pork in it. Beef and broccoli, man. I'm righteous. And they stirred that up in oyster sauce. Serve it to you.
I didn't know that. I don't eat beef and broccoli anyways.
Chicken and broccoli, beef, broccoli, all that, the whole menu. All the brown sauce is pretty much oyster sauce.
Oh,
Fried rice, all that. You just you gotta check it. You gotta ask them like, hey, nothing with oyster in it. Then they ask you, hey, you want white sauce then? Because everything got oyster in it. See that? You want an egg roll? I don't know. But that's how it does, man. It says sin taking occasion by the commandment. It slew me. How? Because all these other cats use that as a checklist on how they're going to defile you. Go ahead.
Verse 12. Wherefore the law is holy.
See, the law is holy. So don't let 1 Corinthians 15:56 get you twisted thinking that it's death. No, it's holy. It kills the old man. That's what's holy about it. It cleanses away that old filthy man you were. Go ahead.
And the commandment holy.
And the commandments are holy. Go ahead.
And just.
And just. They're fair. Go ahead.
And good.
And it's good. It's good for you. Read.
Was then that which is good made death unto me.
Right. So is then that which is good made death unto me? Let's see.
God forbid.
God forbid. See that? He didn't kill the things that were good for you. He killed the things in you that were bad. That's what the death was, man. He got rid of that pork for you, that dead swine with the trichinosis worm that crawls off the table for you when you leave it out too long. And the maggots that are living in the meat. He killed that for you. He smashed them maggots before they entered into your body and defiled you by telling you don't eat that. Y'all see that?
Gone.
Go ahead.
But sin, that it might appear sin, working death in me by that which is good, that sin by the commandment might become exceeding sinful.
Right, see, the commandments were there to make sure you knew what sin was. See that? The commandment was there so you could see how evident it is that you're doing wrong. Whoa, wait a minute. Don't eat pork. Okay, that sounds like something you just made up. Wait. Don't eat the swine. These are abominable? Damn, what's abominable mean? Oh, filthy. Disgusting. Reject. Reprobate. I'm not messing with that. I don't want to be that to the Most High. Most High said if I eat that, then it's abominable? Ugh. Let me not mess with that. See, it's supposed to be more evident for you now. That's all it is. So when we go back to 1 Corinthians 15:56.
1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 56.
Uh-huh.
The sting of death is sin.
Uh-huh.
And the strength of sin is the law.
See, what stings about death is why you died. Because you were sinning. And the strength of sin, the strength of what causes you to die, is the law. Because the law told you not to. The law was going to save your life. Y'all see that?
Come.
But you went and did against the law, so now the strength of the law comes through. The strength of the sin comes through because the law is telling you all the consequences of your actions. You understand?
Come.
Look, I told you if you ate that pork, you was going to be abominable. That it's an abomination. I don't know why the hell you would want to eat it. Y'all see that?
Come.
Would you eat at a place called Abominations? I got Frenchies. I got McDonald's. Abominations. I think I'll try that spot.
That's 5-star rating.
Right? Esau gave it a 5-star rating. The ones that couldn't bathe until the 13th century. The ones that Arthur Kessler says was eating their own lice out of their drawers. Off of each other like monkeys. They gave it 5 stars. They must know. They're connoisseurs. They done ate everything. Man versus food, he done ate everything. He said it was delicious. Okay. He's the same one who went over to Taiwan and ate that duck that was 18 years old in the egg. Feathers and everything. He said that was good though. Have fun. Oh no, man. So hopefully that gave you a little understanding on that. What else we got? Did I miss something?
Jeremiah had a question.
Who?
Jeremiah.
Where's that?
He texted on the camp text.
Oh, I didn't get that. What did he say?
He said, What is the scripture when Edom will be destroyed that none will remain? Question pertaining to the lesson in class I'm watching live.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's Obadiah. There'll be none remaining in the house of Esau. I should just get something to mark that, man. It's like 1 page long. There we go. Obadiah. Let's see. Yeah, verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Most High has spoken it. Alright, so there's that. What else we got? Damn, there are a lot of questions, man. We gotta stop putting off days. We gotta just kill that first hour and just knock these out. Let's see. Okay, who sits on the left side of the Most High? We got that, right? Shalom, sir, who is Cyrenius in Luke 2, verse 2. And did the powers that reigned at each period make every tribe pay taxes, tributes in their own city? Asking with reference to Luke 2, verse 3 through 5. Okay, there's a lot going on right there. Luke chapter 2, verse 2. Yeah, we can't put off a day with these questions, man. Cats be studying. Well, by because he does one question that takes the class and he segues right into his class, and the other questions is like, wait till this day, wait till that day. Okay, Luke chapter 2, verse 2, read that.
Luke chapter 2 and verse 2.
Start at verse 1.
And verse 1. And it came to pass that in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed.
Right.
Verse 2. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria.
So as simple as that. It was when you go into your history book and you look at the Syrian Empire. When you look at the Syrian history, then you're going to find a man named Cyrenius. All right, and he would be the governor of Syria. That's pretty cut and dry right there. But let's see what else. And did the powers that reigned at each period make every tribe pay taxes / tribute in their own city? All right, so and all went to be taxed, everyone into his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth unto Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David. All right, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. All right, so because of where he was living, he was getting taxed by Caesar Augustus, who was the Caesar or the king of Rome. All right. Now, sometimes they'll throw in there the time frame so that way you can go into history and see, hey, this is true. Augustus Caesar reigned over Rome at the same time that, when I go into Syria, Cyrenius was the governor. Y'all see that? So that's why the Most High do that. He put those certain facts in there so you can see the Bible is factual. It's historical. These are scriptures people like to skip over when they want to try to act like it's make-believe. They forget that it got historical people in there. Actual human beings that walked the earth and did these things. Alright? So, yeah, the powers that reigned at each period made every tribe pay taxes and tributes in their own city. Egyptian Empire, we paid a fifth. Alright? Joseph had established that in the Egyptian Empire to tax everybody in the city a fifth or 20% of their check, alright, their income. Who came after them? The Assyrian Empire came after them. When the Assyrians were reigning, when you go into 2 Kings chapter 17, you can read about the king of Assyria. He actually just took the northern tribes and took them over to be servants in his land, to be serving and be under tribute in his land in 2 Kings chapter 17. You got the Babylonian Empire that came into power about 538 BC. All right, so you had the Assyrian Empire in 722 BC. You had the Babylonian Empire coming to power about 538, 536 BC. All right, and the Babylonians, like King Nebuchadnezzar that you read in the book of Daniel, he was in. You can also, well, I think Esdras is after that, right? But you read about in the book of Daniel about Nebuchadnezzar. He was a Babylonian king who were under captivity to them, who was having to pay tribute to them. Pretty much every captivity we were in. All right. After them came the Persians and Medes. Cyrus, the king of the Persians and Medes, he had us under tribute. All right, we were having to pay him. Persians and Medes was what? 533 BC, right?
I suck with dates.
533 BC, and then because yeah, the what you call it, the Babylonians was 586 BC. I'm sorry, get it all right. 586 BC, and then about 533 BC, you end up with the Persian and Mede Empire, and then in 333 BC, the Greeks beat the Persians. All right, with Alexander the Greek, they beat the Persians, and then we were paying tribute to the Greeks, as you read about in the book of Maccabees. All right, so all these are places you can go. All these scriptures I'm saying are places you can go, and they correspond with these dates. They correlate with these dates. All right. In 227 BC, the Roman Empire took over from the Greeks. They were able to beat the Greeks. All right, so they took over, and we were in captivity to them, and we ended up paying tribute to the Romans. As when you go to the book of Matthew, or Matthew's, where he tells them whose visage is this on the coin, whose image is this on the coin, and whose superscription. He said, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and give unto the Most High what is the Most High's, right? So that is, you're dealing with the time frame from 227 BC. They came into full power in 27 AD, and then they brought about the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD, and then they came out of power in about 227 AD. All right, so they had like almost a 400-year, maybe 500-year rule. That was the Roman Empire. All right, so these are all dates and times, and they correlate with the actual scriptures that you can read about these things going on in. All right. But yeah, each one of those captivities, all 7 of them, because I don't think I forgot about America. All right. So 1600s, America, we've been in tribute to them since we've been here. Even if you're free, right? If you know the truth and the truth has made you free, yeah, still paying taxes, you still buying groceries from them, you still serving them for want of all things. All right. So yeah, every single captivity That was the whole point of the captivity, was for them to juice us of our money. Matter of fact, when you go to Romans chapter 11 and 7, through their fall. Let me get it.
11 and 12.
Yeah, there you go. Romans 11 and 12. Now, if the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles, how much more their fullness? So when we fell, the Gentiles got rich. That was the point where we sold our birthright, where we became just like that profane man, like Esau. And we decided, you know what? His blood be on us and on our children. We want Barabbas. We just want to be, this man causing too much trouble. He got the Romans pissed off at us. We would rather eat in slavery than be free under Christ. So kill him. That's when we sold our birthright. Like Esau. Remember I said, niggas baby. Niggas die spiritually, baby. Right out. We just know Esau going to hell for it. At least we had Christ, because we made the same damn mistake. That they call Latino, because white people call everybody Latino that speaks Spanish, or they think speaks Spanish, or that's brown, that's a little lighter than black. They're Latino, right? So, I mean, that's you deal inside of Israel, man. You deal inside with your people. You're gonna have some people try to use the book of Tobit and tell you that you gotta stay within your own tribe and all this stuff like that. That's where you're gonna end up getting caught up in endless genealogies, and you're gonna have a problem. All right, because you will be single for a very long time. Now, currently going through a divorce. That's the problem. If you're currently going through a divorce, whatever the reason is, whatever the issue is, I will be definitely more selective in my next mate, whether he's Latino, whether he's Issachar, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, any of the tribes. I would definitely maybe give yourself a cooling off period where you can learn how to discern. Watch some of our videos we've done on relationships and marriage, and the 5 minutes of wisdom the brother Kazaki has done, on how to pick your mates, because you don't want to just jump right out. You barely got the ink dry from the divorce, and you already hopping on to the next man. That's going to bring about a lot of confusion for one, and it's going to bring about a lot of chaos for yourself. All right, you want to be more selective and choosing your mate.
The problem isn't.
Huh?
The problem isn't Judah.
Right.
You can find it in any tribe.
Yeah, you won't find that problem in your own tribe, in any tribe that you are or that you find. You're gonna find that, because that problem's gonna follow you if you're not more selective. So be careful. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it was your fault. I don't know the situation. I'm just saying I would, if I'm going through a divorce, that's traumatizing. I don't want to go right into another relationship without knowing more about the person. All right. Can I get some understanding on Haggi 1 verse 4? I swore we read that. Well, it was in 2, right? It was in the back of the trip. So let's get Haggi 1 verse 4. What time is it?
10:41.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Just on something you said. If anybody's using Tobit, to try to justify that you got to stick in your tribe, you got to just read down. It's not saying that you have to stick in your tribe.
Please read that.
Yeah, I'll read it. This is Tobit chapter 4 and verse 12. It says, "Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers." So it's using a plural word here, fathers. It's talking about the forefathers. We know that the forefathers gave birth to the 12 tribes. if you just want to go through the forefathers, we know the 12 tribes came from Israel, right?
Done.
But it said your fathers, the forefathers.
Which doesn't mean outside of Israel, because Abraham had people outside of Israel.
But it's going to tell us. That's why it's telling us to beware of all whoredom. But it's going to tell us. It says, which is not of thy It says, and take not a strange woman to wife. A strange woman was any woman outside of the 12 tribes. That's what it's talking about. It says, which is not of thy father's tribe. For we are the children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So you see how it gave the three?
Which fathers, right? Not
right.
Specifically Judah.
Right, not Judah, Benjamin, Levi.
Right.
Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land.
Right. So, like when you read about Jacob, right? He married Laban's daughter, right? Laban was his uncle. He married his cousin, basically, right? He married within his own people. That's before the tribes popped out, right? Isaac, he married among his own people. Y'all see that?
Done.
Yeah, the key word is kindred.
Right.
Kinfolk, family.
All right. So, and that don't mean go to your family reunion hunting. All right.
Yeah, like trying to get a cousin. We don't do that no more. Like.
Yeah, we don't do first cousins. We don't do none of that. All right. No aunties.
You can't be kissing cousins.
Right.
In Jamaica, you're a kissing cousin.
Yeah, you can't. The Bible calls it your near kindred if you got to look it up. So yeah, your second cousin, third cousin, you're good, but your first cousin, no. All right, you don't do that. In this day and age, if you got to go to your family reunion and hunt, you got issues because you got 12 tribes to choose from.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got 12 nations of people you could be dealing with, and you going to your own family reunion, man. So you got issues. But not putting that past what they was doing back then. What they were doing back then was to try to keep as pure a lineage as they could that had that bloodline of being righteous and loyal to the Most High, because that is an inherited trait. All right? That's not something you can just buy somewhere or intermingle somewhere. That's why, you can always tell people's kids, oh, those are Edomite kids. They look black, but those are Edomites. You know what I mean? They run around like little demons and steal other kids' candy and tell their mom right to her face they didn't do it, and go commit homosexual acts with each other and everything like that. Those are Edomite kids. They got the same traits, man. Or like Christ called certain Israelites, you are your father the devil. Where does that come from? That's a spiritual trait, the one in your family. Y'all see that? You are your father the devil, man. You're probably calling them out by their true lineage.
Right.
But let's get this Haggi 1 and 4 real quick, man. Is it time for you, O you, to dwell in your sealed houses, and this house lie waste? So what he's telling you is, look, man, you got a roof over your head, you got 4 walls, but the house of the Most High is destroyed, it's fell apart. Ain't nobody putting in to make sure that you got a house of books, you got a learning place. It's like we got to tell brothers and sisters today, man. Right. You know what I mean? Like I had to tell this car, yeah, you're good. What about your nation? What about your people? You understand? Yeah, okay. You got a girl. You got a woman. You cool. A little about your people. Oh, that don't matter to you? Then get that's what the scripture. I love that word. Infidel. I like the way the Arabs say it.
An infidel is a term used in certain religions for those accused of unbelief.
Okay, what else?
Members of another religion.
Certain Eastern.
Unfaithful.
The inspiration of one who believes the inspiration. One who disbelieves the inspiration of the scriptures.
That dictionary. What else? That's it?
That's it.
You suck. should have brought a big ass one from home. I got this one like this big. But you gotta have old dictionaries, man. Or you know the sister, you know how to pull that up when you go to the 1824 dictionary. You put the word infidel, then you put 1824 dictionary or 1826, one of them.
Yeah, even 1828 didn't really give a good one.
What that say?
It says one who disbelieves the inspiration of the scriptures and the divine origin of Christianity.
Man.
Yeah.
Here. We'll do it like this. Let's see what the Greeks say. So let's just go biblically what it is. Let's see.
Wow. This one is not too much off what they've been saying. It says infidel. A disbeliever, one who has no religious faith, an atheist, not holding the true faith, unbelieving.
Right.
Atheism or disbelief in God, religion, skepticism.
Okay, here we go. All right. In Greek, in the scripture that I'm talking about, all right, the scripture I'm talking about is 1 Timothy 5, verse 8. It says, if any provide not for his own, right? So you got sisters be trying to use that against the men. Oh, you don't provide. You're supposed to provide. No, you're supposed to do what Proverbs 31 says and bring in all that carnal, all that. You're supposed to go work and do all that. I'm supposed to provide for my own. Talking about my people. Y'all see that? I'm supposed to be at EO busting my ass, making sure the school stays open and the lights stay on. I'm supposed to be doing for my own, for my people. Not for my girl, not for my own personal pockets, but for Israel. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Con?
God.
Silence on certain parts of the earth. If he don't provide for his own, and especially for those of his own house. They're talking about your own house, like your crib. Let's see. That word in the Greek is oikios, belonging to a house or family, domestic, intimate, belonging to one's household, related by blood, kindred, belonging to the household of the Most High.
So there is your nation.
So that kills all them little feminists, so-called feminist Israelites that we got. That's not talking about you got to be the breadwinner for the house. That's the woman's job according to the Bible. The man was known at the gates. All right. The woman was supposed to be providing those things, and he delegates that. All right. Belonging, devoted to, adherence of a thing. So that's your house. Those that are devoted, the adherence of the thing. Just like Christ said, "Who are my mother and my brother?" Right. And he pointed at those that was listening to him, that was doing the work. Not his physical blood family, but those that was doing the work. See that? I'm not doing the work just because I got a familial obligation. No, I'm doing this for the nation of Israel. and all the scriptures justify what I just said, man. When the widow woman came and Christ raised her up above everybody else and said she's gonna have a name. Why? Because she gave more than everybody else. Why? Because she gave to the treasury her last 2 months. It wasn't for her household. It wasn't just for her and to keep among her or buy it for or get her boyfriend some new shoes or to do that. No, it was to the treasury of Israel, for her nation, for her people, her house. You understand? It's funny because we can get there shall be none remaining in the house of Esau, and everybody's every one of them gonna die, and they know that it's they know in their brain that it's talking about their house, right?
Mm-hmm. But when it comes to this part,
yeah, now we're just talking about individual households.
Yeah,
come on, man, hypocrites. That's why I love definitions, man. So. He's if he don't provide for his own house, right, his oikios, right, then he has denied the faith and is worse than an infidel, which is apistos, unfaithful, faithless, not to be trusted, perfidious, incredible, meaning he has no credibility. You got no street cred. You a punk. All right. Of things unbelieving, incredulous, without trust in the Most High. Yeah, check this out. Strong's definition. Let's go down. And actively disbelieving. So you're actively disbelieving. You do it every damn day. That is without Christian faith, specifically a heathen. So you're worse than a heathen. You're worse than the profane man such as Esau, who for one morsel of bread sold his birthright. Niggas always want to talk about Esau, man. Esau this, Esau that, like we just did, right? But they never want to show what happens when you punk out. You're worse than an infidel. If you're a man and a woman can take you out the truth, can take you off the job the Most High put before you, you're worse than Esau, man. You're worse than them little car banging, pedophiliac, bestiality, putting peanut butter on their penis and letting their dog lick it off Edomites. Blood drinking, smelling like bologna Edomites. You like them. You're worse than them. Because you sold out harder than they did. You had the gift. You knew what it was about, and you gave it up. He said you're worse than the infidel. You're worse than the heathen. What else we got? Passively untrustworthy. All right? Belief not, faithless, incredible, thing, infidel, unbeliever. Right, so you're an apistos. Apistos.
Piece of crap.
All right? You ain't nothing, man. You worse than what we read about Esau in Hebrews 12, man. When you punk out, when you decide, you know what, the Most High told me to do this job, but I'm gonna go deal with my girl. I'm gonna go deal with my things. I'm gonna go deal with my belongings. I'm gonna go deal with my feelings. What's sensual? What sets me off? That's better than the gift the Most High has promised. What else can I say? I can't say it no better than the scriptures say it, right? Everybody can't be looking at me like they want to throw daggers at me, man. The Bible said it. The one you try to skip. You just mad because I brought it to your attention. Y'all see that? The Bible told you you're worse than an infidel, man. You're worse than the heathen. And he didn't just name Esau. Because you got, what, live rat eating Chinese people. You got rat worshipping, cow worshipping Indian people, right? That shave off their head to Lady Shiva and eat dead bodies, yeah. Right?
Your blood in the forehead.
Right, you worse than them. You worse than the Belgium cats that stole that lady's dog and gang raped it.
You got like the Duli Africans that stick their heads in cow butts.
There you go, right? The Dinka tribe, you worse than that whole Dinka tribe. You worse than the other ones that circumcised their women's clitoris. You worse than the other ones that got to rape a newborn baby in order to cure themselves of AIDS because they that stupid. Oh yeah, you heard about that? Wow. Yeah, come on, y'all gotta experience life, man. Y'all gotta do your research. Yeah. You gotta look at things that are out there. So you can see when the Most High said you're worse than an infidel, it has some weight to you. It hits you right here. You understand? It don't hit you like, whatever. Infidel, that don't mean nothing. Think about what an infidel is. You're worse than a heathen. Now think of all the nations on the earth. A lot of y'all, a lot of us, we're not well traveled, I understand. But that's why the internet made the world such a great place. Because you can go all over the world one click from your lap. Mm-hmm. The click of a button. They should owe me money, man. That was a good advertisement. You can literally learn about everything the heathen are doing, man. The Chinese are eating spare rib soup. They're eating 9-month-old aborted fetuses in soup. Most I say you worse than them. Everybody you look down on as a nigga, right, as an Israelite, all right, you look down on them now.
Like you filthy
I know
Moabites,
about them.
you dirty African, you this. You filthy nations, but you're worse than all
He
that.
said you worse than all of them. Why? Because he did not give his laws and his statutes. He didn't give his judgments to them. That's the key one. Yeah, laws, statutes, he gave it to them in a manner of speaking. But his judgments, his decision-making mind, he didn't give that to them. He gave it to you. And you still, with the knowledge and the wisdom and the discernment of God himself, said, screw that, I don't need that. I'd rather take that ass over there. I'll take what's behind door number 3, Bob.
I'll take door number 8.
Right. Like door number 8's not even an option. What are you talking about?
That's what I want.
I don't want that.
I want door
That's
8.
the exit sign. Wow, man.
I want door number 8 because you told me I couldn't have it.
Yeah, but you know, this is why a lot of our people are sellout niggas, man. They're sellout reprobates, man, and they go through the same stupid, vicious hamster wheel cycle every day because they, you know, I didn't found this out dealing with my rib, man. I'm like, did you even know this? I'm reading Ecclesiastes 26, which every brother done read to his rib at least 30 million times. Did you know that? Did you know that that's what that meant? No, I never. Of course not. Because you got people that won't study. They won't look into the words. They won't look into the scriptures and see, hey, but damn, I don't want to be that. That's what you're supposed to be looking in this Bible for. It's not a doorstop. It's not a paperweight. You're supposed to look in there and see what type of niggard you do not want to be. You understand? You're supposed to look in the perfect law of liberty and say, I don't want to be this guy. This guy is trash.
What level of infidel do I not want to accomplish?
Yeah, this is what Paul was talking about. That law was supposed to cause that kind of death in you. To kill the old man. To kill that old faggot you used to be. To kill that old drughead, pothead, niggard, surfer boy, free love, hippie bastard you used to be. You understand?
John.
I hope so. Yeah, he said if you don't provide for your house, going along with Haggi chapter 1 and verse 4, if you don't provide for your house, which house? The house of the faith, the house of the Most High. Is it time for you to go to your own house while the house of the Most High lies waste? We ain't got a nation, but you cuddled up with your woman. We ain't got a nation. We currently right now don't have a place to call home. And you texting? You sexting? You Snapchatting like you in the kingdom? What up, boo? You making late night creeps and can't give nothing to the Most High? No energy left for the Most High because you making late night creeps? We in the middle of a damn war, man. That's why the Most High said don't take no coward to war, man.
God.
He said don't take a damn coward to war, man, because their mind, he said with the ones that got a new wife, don't take them to war. Because that's all their mind is on, man. All their mind is on is what they just got, what they got. Don't leave them at home. You already know what they thinking about. They either gonna get their head chopped off and make that woman a widow, or they gonna get your head chopped off because you thought they was watching your back and they're sexting.
Make your wife a widow.
That makes me despair when I hear about brothers being EO doing that. You know what I mean? It's like one brother's there hitting it, running around doing all this, and the next brother don't care that he could get ran up on and have his head split open at any minute. Y'all forget we at the point of death every damn day. Y'all think it's a game. We stand out on that street corner, broadcast that on YouTube. Every nigga got a death sentence on your head. The only thing protecting that is the Most High got angels camped around y'all when you're in unity. And he got a brother next to you. And y'all forget that. That makes me despair, man. I'm like, wow, there's no hope for Israel because you can't get two brothers to be in unity in one place without there being an issue, without one of them punking out That make me despair, man. How the hell we gonna get 144,000 when 72,000 of them is sexting? 72,000 fell for the damn booby prize that Satan dangled out for them that they ain't never really gonna experience and get. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
That's why I don't go to the club. There ain't nothing but booby prizes, man. Bunch of chicks dressed like they on the buffet line, but in between, you don't got a sneeze guard. You got a metal vault with a combination on it. Like, you ain't getting that. You just get to look at that. That's all Satan's doing with y'all, man. That's all he do. He dangle in some money, dangle out some family stuff. All of a sudden this happened. All of a sudden this happened. He dangle out some pain, some misery, or dangle out some this could be a better life for you. And ooh, pretty. You worse than the heathen, man.
For real.
Worse than the infidel. Pathetic. That's why he said about the slothful, man. He said they're worse than a filthy stone. They're worse than a dunghill, man. Because why? You won't fight against what Satan's dangling in front of you. You just go with it.
Flop your face right.
Yeah. You that stupid fish that already bit the worm off the hook and almost got caught. And then when the fisherman grabbed the hook and put another worm on it and threw it out, you went and swallowed the hook. You that fish. You that one that deserves to be hacked up, fried up. You understand?
Done.
Keeps getting quiet when I say this. I'm not saying it to convict just y'all, man. I look at these things and I look at myself. But that's what makes a teacher, and that's what makes a person that's on his way out. Is the teacher is considering these things, he's checking his own spirit. The one that's on his way out is looking at the teacher like he's messed up because he's telling him that.
Why you pointing me out?
Right. Like, he's being a nigga. Why is he being an a-hole? Bruh, do you hate me because I tell you the truth? Might now become your enemy because I tell you the truth? This ain't what I said. This is what the Most High said. He don't like it. Sure, leave it up to me. I'd rather be at home, man. Sure, there's 8 more seasons of Supernatural I could be just kicking back and watching, man.
God, that's a lot more seasons.
That's 8 years worth of show, man.
That you can watch it
Yeah.
1 week.
Yeah.
With Netflix.
Be at home, just eat every damn thing. Just ordering stuff up. Be living the life, right? But we come to die every day to convict ourselves and show ourselves how unworthy we are to the Most High standards, so that we can the next day try to measure up to the Most High standards. But what does the brother that's on his way out do? He doesn't care about those things. He only cares about what's good for his little pee-pee. He only cares about what's good for his lusts. He's only worried about what goes in his pocket, what goes in his mouth, what goes in his girl. You're worse than the infidel, man. I like how Leonidas said it in 300 when he looked at the little hunchback. That should be an indication of a person's spirit. When they're cowards like that, that's what they look like to brothers. You look like that little gnarled up ass, pimply faced, wart covered hunchback to brothers. To people that's really trying to do this work and trying to make it in the kingdom and trying to build a nation, that's what you look like. You just look like that ugly little 3 foot, should be 6 foot, but curled up into a S hunchback. You understand? And he didn't tell them you should kill yourself. He said live forever. Live forever like that. Live forever knowing you sold out your people. Live forever knowing that you sold out your nation for a woman. Live forever knowing that you sold out your birthright for a morsel of meat. That's what I pray on niggas, man. Ones that come into this truth, I don't pray death on them, man. I pray they live forever. I pray the Most High wake them up, open their eyes to everything they fully done, and then make them live forever with that shame. That's a curse.
Yeah. Yeah.
I pray they live forever in this life, not the next one. This life, not the good one. Not the kingdom.
That's some more Wolverine.
Yeah.
You gotta go through life just knowing, like.
Yeah, I pray you go through all the things that happen to us poor Negroes, the brothers and sisters that don't know the truth, that's out there getting shot and beat down by cops, but the cop like shoot you and it goes. This is all. And you still live with a full cognizance of why, but you got a little hole right here with the big hole. Because that path. I don't nothing that you live from. And merciful. When Christ came, and he said he's gonna put you in hell where your worm dieth not. You know, you look up that word worm, he's talking about your soul. It doesn't die. And that worm that crawl in and out of your face and up your nose and out your mouth, it don't die. And the one that crawls up your rectum and out your eyeball, it don't die. It just does it forever and ever and ever. And you always think about what you could have been. How you could have been one of the 144,000 elect. How you could have been somebody. I love that. You know what I mean? He said all them that pierced him was going to see him. So all them that pierced him, all them that cut him to the heart, that crucified Christ afresh. That's referring to you Negroes, you Israelites. You crucified Christ afresh. All they that pierced him is going to look at him. And they going to know. He going to let it be evident to you. You betrayed me. Remember when you did this? Remember when you turned your back on me to do this? That's when he's going to put you in that place where your worm don't die. Look what he did to the rich man, Luke 16. He didn't put him like, y'all thinking he went to Hellraiser hell, right? Some place that just demons torment you. Come on, that's going to get old. Nah, he put you in the place where the angels are tormenting you. And you get to look at all the people over there living it up. He put you in Texas. You know what I mean? He's gonna put you here again. You just wake up, you thought you was dead, you was gonna go up to get judgment, and you wake up in Texas again.
Galveston County.
Right?
Galveston.
He put you in the hood, in a worse condition, give you a hunchback this time, but give you the same lust demon. You sit outside the club trying to eat scraps of barbecue. Hit on girls with the mini skirts on, and they looking at you like you're the troll under the trash. That's how he gonna do you, man. And then you go look, and everywhere you see it's gonna be Israelites walking around in their full garments, walking around in their glory, gold everywhere, cheeks rolled with gold, sprinkling gold dust in their hair, eating good, living good, got the woman you lusted after. That's what it's gonna hurt. That's what's gonna hurt when you find out that your woman didn't want no sellout nigga. She didn't want no old garbage ass cowardly nigga, and she go with the brother that she seen on the street corner. You was trying to teach her the scriptures and you didn't know none because you didn't stick around. So you went ahead and showed her the YouTube video. And she, oh, I want that one. Oh man. Can't tell me the Most High don't have a sense of humor, man. Can't tell me that. He did it to Saul. He did it to Saul, man. Straight up. Oh, you hate David? I'm gonna give him your daughter. Yeah, and your son. Your son loved him more than he loved you. And I'm going to give him the whole kingdom of Israel love him more than you. Everybody. They singing his song in your face. He put Saul through hell, man. That's why that evil spirit treated him, man. Because that's all he was around. That's all he could think about was evil. That's what happens when you sell out, man. When you cool, at least do it for the white man where you might come up. At least reign in hell. Niggas do it for some old garbage ass chick that been ran through by the whole football team and they try to get the football team scraps. You worse than the water boy. You the dude that mops the floor after the porno and licks the mop. You're that guy. For these garbage little hoes around here, come on, man. Turn my back on my brother in the kingdom. Disgusting, man. It's disgusting. It would almost deceive the very elect. It would almost make the elect say, you know what? I don't want to do this, man. Niggas died every day, B. We die daily. For y'all to join this, I'm sorry if I didn't get all your questions, man. We had to segue a little bit. Circumstances beyond our control. What is that? $2 support the men of the Lord. The water?
We have removed it. Somebody had put it on there.
Is it a site? What is that?
I don't know what it is. Somebody posted it on there. We don't know who did it.
It looked like the Josie Israel lady did it. I don't know how it works, but yeah. No, don't shoot your gun tomorrow. Do not shoot your gun tomorrow. I did that one time in my foolishness, and then I realized bullets land, and you don't know where. And you don't want to be the guy that some innocent baby pops up on the news with their brains splattered all over the backseat of their car, and it's your fault. So no, don't pop guns. Pop the Bible open.
You can be killed in your house from that.
I mean, if you can do it safely, you know what I mean, just because you want to let your gun off and you don't feel like paying for the range, you know, like I got a bayou behind my house, I might let off a little steam in the backyard or something like that, but I ain't gonna kill nobody because it's a bayou, you know what I mean?
Right.
But don't just be shooting off in the air like crazy ass Esau be doing. Bullets land. That's probably the last one I'll get to answer. But we thank y'all for joining us. Come to see us Wednesday, 7 to 10 p.m. We're going to try to be out at this thing tomorrow. If we got the manpower, brothers are going to be out there street speaking in Rosenberg. Let me see if I got the address on here still. Okay, let's see. Yeah, here we go. Seabourn Creek Nature Park. Seabourn Creek Nature Park. C and then that's SEA and then BOURNE Creek Nature Park. Yeah, we're gonna try to be out there. It should be around about from 4 to 9. All right, and be out there street speaking. We can get some brothers out there from San Antonio, stuff like that. We're gonna try to be out there tomorrow from 4 to 9 at Seabourn Park Nature Park. That's in Rosenberg, Texas. All right, speaking against the 4th of July. But yeah, again, thank you for joining us, and we appreciate y'all's support and everything that we've been doing, and we hope to continue it in your state, city, country, wherever you are. But Most High bless and keep y'all. Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shabarak Atham, which means the Most High in the name of Christ bless you. With that, we're going to say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.